And now, our feature presentation.
I like beer cause it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you bring. I drink beer when I am sad, cause the beer it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer. Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good! And stop! Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good! Let's go drink some beer! Tastes real crappy, but cold beer will make me happy. When I throw up on the floor, I can go and drink some more. They say beer will make me dumb. It are go good with pizza. Now that we have drunk some beer, let's go drive a car. Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good! And stop! Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good! Let's go drink some beer!
Hey guys, I'm Scarfy.
I'm Naka, and please back up from the mic.
Oh, sorry. Do I sound a little too loud?
That you were.
You just came out like busting out of the gates. Hey guys, what's up?
All right, is this better?
Yes, you're better. You're better now.
All right. And welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse, a determinedly drunk, geeky, and showful podcast where wolves we house in a tree and we entertain, bringing you all latest entertainment news. Sets a lot like a music appreciation class. We talk about what's going on in certain topics and see how people react to them in certain ways. And that song that you were listening to was...
that would be Beer! By Psychostick.
Beer.
I'm not gonna lie. The song that I really like is Dogs Like Socks. I can't get enough
of
of
course,
it.
that's pretty much what every furry likes because it's pandering.
We are dogs and we like socks. We like
I
socks.
was at a store. I think it was like a ski shop, and there's one of the little little rack that had socks on it has like a dog with a sock in its mouth. And I'm like, I tweeted at Psychostick, and they liked the picture. And I said, you know what I'm thinking of? I like socks.
So we have a little bit of an elephant in the room. Our chat is in Times New Roman.
No idea why.
No idea why, but we're gonna have to deal with it anyway. So
I already have to look at this shit because I have like essays to do this week. I don't want to fucking look at this anymore.
I don't want to look at the text that makes us think of essays. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's. I don't have a problem with it.
Just don't be a student. There you go.
As a font, but it's like there are so many times where it just looks out of place in other settings other than an essay. So it's just like that's what bothers me.
Anyway,
it's not that it relates to an essay. It's just out of place.
So anyway, we have I do want to talk a little bit about before we begin the show. Rather, sorry, we do have some things that we need to talk about. First off, Naka, you have got a shiny new toy to play with, don't you? Not the angle that you think I'm going for, but anyway.
I knew what direction you were going for.
Well, you know what I mean. Anyway, just tell us the toy that you got.
First things first, Donate to us in Streamlabs. We have been brought to you by Streamlabs. We are a non-profit podcast, but we use this as our go-to for making more episodes and help them be bigger and better than ever before by purchasing equipment or other visual means. Please don't feel obligated. We are not asking you for money to pay the rent, but if you have the heart to donate, it is greatly appreciated.
Sweet.
And within the past few days, Kyle has donated another $90.
Kyle, you're so awesome.
Does this man ever stop?
And with your donations,
yes,
we collectively, as a group, decided to pool some of the donation money.
Okay.
And we have picked up a video game capture device.
Yes.
An Elgato HD 60S.
Sweet.
Which means primarily Xbox One stuff, but we will have Nintendo Switch stuff on the way. But I have the Xbox One hooked up because Forza Horizon 4 is still popular right now.
And for the record, we're going to be using this. We're going to be getting a lot out of this capturing device because guess what? We can use it for actually playing video games together and people actually watching us and hearing our voices.
Holy fuck!
Which is actually pretty cool. So I do have to make that loud and clear.
That's gonna be fun to do.
Yes, it is. And to be fair, I do think it's probably one of the biggest things. Like you were playing Forza Horizon 3, like goddamn that 4. My bad. You were playing Forza Horizon 4, and my god, the quality and the timing on that video is just gorgeous. And I don't know how your computer can handle that. It's amazing.
My computer can't handle the rendering.
Well, I really just need more RAM, but because I wasn't like recording the footage, it was just being, streamed. It was basically just going from the console to the. It was basically just from the console to the capture device, and then the capture device to the computer, and computer out to the internet. And because of my good upload rate, thank you Xfinity for that, by the way. You're good 98% of the time. Sometimes you crash, but that's partially not your fault. Sometimes somebody's just being a dick in the house, or maybe there's just random frame drops. By the way, if there are frame drops, just let me know.
Right.
And if there will be any stuttering, because I can hear it, they won't be able to. They might hear me start stuttering and roboting, but I won't hear. But they won't hear themselves roboting. So
okay.
We're just going to keep that in mind as we go forward. We did have just a tiny little bit of issues throughout, thankfully, the pre-show. Nothing has come up yet, so hopefully everything stays smooth.
Hopefully, and if anything happens, we'll be sure to let you know when that happens. So, so before we begin, I do want to briefly tell you a story. I went to go see 2 movies.
Story time, kids.
I'm pretty sure I told you this, but I went to go see Searching, which was a very, very well done movie.
That thing about that movie, that looks like Welcome to the Game in real life.
Well, it was more so on under the lines of if Unfriended actually took itself seriously, minus all the horror elements. And to be honest, guys, if you were to go see this movie, you will not be disappointed. It is actually really well done. I really enjoyed myself. I hope that you guys would go see this movie.
Who's the lead actor's name? Something Cho?
John Cho.
John Cho.
Yes.
I think I've been seeing him a little more often. I think
he's in Harold and Kumar. He's in Star Trek Sulu.
I know, he was in Green Hornet too.
I don't remember Green Hornet, but
it was him and Seth Rogen.
Okay, and yeah, that makes sense. And then today, well, not today, last Friday, this Friday, I believe, I saw Venom. And guys, I'm just gonna let you know, just don't go see this movie, please. Just don't. Save whatever. I mean, I got off lucky because I didn't have to pay a movie ticket, but no, just go see A Star Is Born with Lady Gaga in it. I know it sounds as cringeworthy as it does, but please, I'm telling you, it's actually really well done. I haven't seen it myself, but I heard it was really good. And I mean, if you don't want to believe my word for it, just look at the reviews which are totally not pandering to Lady Gaga's performance. I'm just going to let you know that, but hey, it is what it is. And, but anyway, guys, I do have one more thing to say.
Sports.
Sports? What do you mean sports?
I'll talk about it when I get into my thing. Go.
Okay. So guys, we have a lot to talk about, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 pages worth of shit.
Yeah.
If mine's only a page and a half.
In case you haven't noticed, we have a lot to talk about, and here's the thing, guys. I do want to address this. Today we are doing a double show. What that means is that we are talking about content that is happening for both next week as well as the week after, and we will. And so what that means is that we are streaming the show for the 7th. We are going to be taking a small break for the 14th, and we will be returning back on the 21st. And the reason why we're doing it is because midterms are coming up, and I need to be prepared and make sure that I have all the time in the world to do those midterms. So, yeah, I just wanted to make that very clear, and, well, that's really all I have to say. So anyway, moving on, how are you two doing today?
I'm doing all right.
I watched the entirety of the Ravens-Browns game, and it was not really the result that bothered me, but it was that fact that it was just one of the most grueling, horrible defensive slugfests I've had to watch. I mean, I love that, defenses get recognition, but when it's like this, it's kind of hard to watch. But other than that, everything's good, I guess.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, why don't we actually get starting with you for music, Krüz? And for the record, I just want to say thank you so much for making all the visuals that you can. It was very, very amazing for you to do that, and you send it all to Naka, and I'm very, very proud of you. Thank you so much, Krüz.
Oh my god, I blazed through it like you would not believe.
Yeah, anyway.
And I don't think they're too shitty either.
Give me just a moment. I'm trying to see if I can change it to Comic Sans just for shits and giggles, but I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, it's not working right now, so okay. I'll have to fiddle with that later. Anyway, we can continue now.
Hey, the fact of the matter is that we have a chat. It may not be the best chat in the world, but hey, at least it's working, so... that's all I really have to say. But anyway,
I didn't know what was happening. I just saw it just flashing.
Anyway, let's just continue with our show. Krüz with music. Go.
Yep. All right. Well, we're gonna start off with something I didn't really know. It's Jess Glynne. I had to make sure I was spelling it right. Always in Between. It is her sophomore album with the English singer, and it's coming October 12th. And listening to that, at first, you might mistake it for someone like, I only know this because I've heard it so many goddamn times, not of my own volition, like Jason Derulo or something like that. But it's just not bad. She has a deeper voice than you would think, I guess. Because for some reason, just watching her like lip sync it, and then the audio didn't really match up. But then it kind of started to make sense. Okay, so it's just one of those moments you don't think that someone can do a certain voice, and then you see it, and it's weird for the first time. But anyway, I do think music is just kind of it is what it is. You know what you're getting into. It's like an English singer. It's that kind of.
It would be perfect in Forza Horizon 4. Because it's set in the United Kingdom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is.
I explained on Friday that it's primarily in Scotland, but it's still the United Kingdom nonetheless.
Well, I got that. I don't remember everything though.
It was 2
days ago. You could have Ailstorm though.
Yeah. Well,
why not have fucking Ailstorm? Oh, right, that's not playing to the masses. Meanwhile, you had Need for Speed Underground 2 that had fucking Helmet. It had I think it
Mastodon.
One of the other ones had Priestess and something like that. I think
Mastodon was in Underground 2.
Hey, Krüz. I don't mean to interrupt, but can you please go back to your
Yeah. The one point I guess I had to make other than that about the music was it is pretty cool that she actually like as an intro to the thing does yeah, it's where the hair doesn't look like it's all apart from her head. She does express a lot of gratitude to like friends and family and stuff like that that showed to the video, which is pretty cool of her to do that. And it looks like, based on, I guess the video, and then I think it looks like she's doing well for herself from that. I guess that's good.
So I just want to. So I'm not gonna lie. I was listening to this video, and I actually really enjoyed what it had to offer. It's better than most pop artists. I'll give you that. But hey, what do you have to say regarding this music video, Naka?
It's just easy listening pop music that you can just play on the radio and nobody will complain about because it's just popular.
Are you talking like a nerd?
Nerd.
That's not a nerd voice. That is George Carlin when he's talking about stuff that's about the popular masses.
Hi, Tucker. I'm Todd.
Hi, Tucker. I'm Todd.
Fuck Tucker. Tucker sucks. Sorry.
Anyway, I really like this music video for me, but in all seriousness, Naka, what do you think about this music video?
Just
yeah. All right. Well,
there's just a lot of today.
Well, we tried, but why don't we get on to the next thing?
Yay, politics meets politics, I guess. I don't fucking know.
So I'm pretty sure that I was looking for the cover, and I don't know if this was the same thing, but at the very least, this is the cover of something with the same name.
Okay.
So this album, found Black Eyed Peas, is another one that ties in with comics, which is also called Masters of the Sun. And I was immediately thinking of Judas Priest's Children of the Sun. That's a different thing. And it was a collaboration of the band, the group, and Marvel to make a comic, which came out last year. And it was weird. It's a political album that said was loosely based on the comic, but the comic was about zombies and stuff.
Okay.
But if you watch the video and you'll see for yourself that Big Love highlights a lot of the current issues that have been popping up, and I guess because there's so much in the video, I think it's better for people to see that for themselves, because if we were to go even to like bring up some of the stuff that goes on in it, it would just not even that it would be like a debate, but it's like it would just take up more time. I guess, well, there's one thing that's like not as controversial, which is like drug addiction. So that's like, there's lines like, "We a bunch of drugged up Americans." A lot of people deal with that, and that's a problem that destroys a lot of communities. And being from Baltimore, I know that all too well. Well, I wasn't always in the parts of the city affected by it, but yeah, it's a current issue today.
For the record,
and it releases October 12th. The comic came out last year also.
Okay. For the record, I really do like the Black Eyed Peas, and I have listened to them. I have listened to their old music when they used to be cool, and I'm not.
When the Black Eyed Peas were cool.
I don't want to. Part of me really wants to discuss what the songs about the Black Eyed Peas are, but then I'd be embarrassed. Why?
Just stay away from politics. Stay away from politics.
No, just
no. I was talking about the song, not the politics. But
yes, but this is a political album.
Yes, I understand it's a political album, and of course we do try to avoid politics as much as possible.
Pie Guy Rule said it best. There's 3 things we don't talk about in the show: religion, politics, and Teen Titans Go.
But for the record, as for the song, I really do like. I don't know.
It doesn't even exist.
But I really do like the song. At least, do you guys like the song?
It's all right.
It's not overbearing. I thought that I did like some stuff from the end, but then after that, they tried to be a little too. Because Black Eyed Peas weren't really a group that was. Like, other than Boom Boom Pow, it's like just stuff that didn't feel like it was over promoted.
Oh, well.
And that's a bit weird to say, like, even though it's a fair argument to say that it could be, but it's not. It's because it has some enjoyment value because it's not over promoted.
Anyway, that's all I have to say regarding the Black Eyed Peas. I like their old stuff. I like this song in particular. I would encourage all of you to go see this if you want a political commentary. However, We're not a political oh my God, I cannot word today. We are not a political podcast. However, we do this podcast to stay away from politics, but this won't be the last time you'll hear the word politics in the video. I guarantee you that, because we do have another.
We just say the word politics to not talk about politics.
Yeah.
But what is it? That's actually a Korn song too.
Anyway,
yeah, it's like,
Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Every time you say that, I think of the fucking.
Can we move on, please?
Yes.
Someone made a sticker of Majira that's just like zoom. It's like that tube effect, like looking through a tube effect on his face. It just says consume.
Anyway, that's all. Yeah, continue.
Doggo. Nature. Yeah, we like nature. Yeah, this might be the lyrics here, but the song kind of reminds me of REM.
What's REM?
The band.
I don't know what REM is.
It's an alternative rock band. That's their name. It's not. Well, it is an acronym, but the band is just known as REM.
Oh, well, I don't know who REM is, so... But anyway, continue.
Losing my religion. But yeah, it's an Australian rock musician, and this time when they say rock, they actually kind of mean it. It's different kind, but still. This is his 24th album. Holy shit.
24.
So you're 24. You can't wait for 25. We're gonna have to remember to make that joke if that happens in the next few years. For what it's worth, I can imagine myself. This is a good driving song. It's like that kind of thing that you're on the open road and all that. If you like classic American folk rock, and the only band I could really remember to think of was Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and like some other stuff that sometimes comes on classic rock radio. I guess Paul, like, was it? I forgot the name. But yeah, it's kind of like it's not too. It's similar to the American version of like folk rock, and if you enjoy that stuff, you should enjoy this as well.
All right, cool. I like Paul Kelly. I like the song that she sang. I don't know if I would. I mean, you know what? Yeah,
You just
it is a dude. Kelly kind of got me, but yes, it is a dude. I like the music video. He was in a courtroom case. I like the music video that took place. But yeah, he's a cool dude. That's really all I have to say about him. Naka?
I mean, folk rock is kind of like the easy listening rock that I can, it's easy listening, but, it's still not like it's that soft rock.
Played by bands like Boys Without Testicles.
And Steely Dan.
I know. These are the people who sort their garbage, jog with their dogs, and listen to Steely Dan.
See, we can just disregard politics by talking about George Carlin, but it's nothing that I wouldn't it's not my first go-to choice, obviously, but I'm just like, well, if it comes on the radio, then I'll just listen to it because there's probably nothing else on.
I mean, and as far as like, even though it's like, it's not something I'm gonna go out of my way to buy, but it's like, I listened to it and I liked it, but. And it's not anything taking away from the music itself. It's just like I have so much other shit that I listen to that this just inevitably gets swept under the rug. But not of its own fault, and I do think that it's genuinely good.
He's an interesting guy, Paul Kelly. But that's all I have to say. Anything else?
Well, at least he knows the difference between a toilet and a human person, unlike R. Kelly.
Okay, well.
Hold on, little bit of a frame drop right there, but it wasn't too
I heard
long.
that.
I'm sure you won't notice that by looking at this one frame.
Yeah.
Oh, we dropped one. Where?
It's mainly just for audio purposes, but I just made an R. Kelly joke. We can move on.
But
okay,
that's just weird thinking of frame like affecting audio, like.
Speaking of frame drops. Well, they call it frame drops because, I mean, I'm broadcasting in 30 frames per second, but it's basically when the bitrate drops, like it is now.
It's audio and video.
Yes, it's both audio and video that drops.
Yeah, so it affects it, but it's just, in my mind, it's just kind of like, fucking whatever it is.
No, I don't know what's going on and what is causing it, because there's not a whole lot of internet activity going on in the house right now.
Well, we'll just continue. Let's just continue with our show, and if anything happens, we'll be sure to work it out.
I can figure it out. We've had a lot worse to deal with.
Anyway, Krüz, continue, please.
Time to go off to Neverland. No,
bad joke.
Meme. It's not Metallica, but like Lars, it is Danish. This is Mo, I think. I think because I wrote that I row. God, that's racist. I know that the O is like almost like an aw, I think, with the thing with it. It's like, because I've only seen it like read in like one thing that's like Stromberg, but it's sort of like Stromberg. I don't know. It's ironic. This thing is 2 letters, but it's harder to pronounce than other Norse words. Jesus. But anyway, this is another sophomore album, Forever Neverland, which is why I made that Metallica reference, and is coming on October 19th. And the album's name might explain why she has dressed up, or not dressed up, well, kind of dressed up, but also like just because her hairstyle did like Tinkerbell and Hook. I forgot the actress's name, but it's like, I was like, is there a reason she's doing that? Oh, Neverland. Oh, I guess that kind of makes sense. Anyways,
Disney joke.
Electropop, and doesn't sound too bad. It does highlight vocal talent. It's not like stupid shit like Lean On, where it's like, it's like, fuck that stupid shit. It's not too overly edited. It's just like, it sounds more natural than most electropop would have. Yeah.
But again, it's electropop.
Yeah, it's more like, it's, I don't know. Whenever I think of like other electropop, I would just think of like fucking 99 Red Balloons. Although I do prefer the Goldfinger version.
Do you guys just not like pop? Is pop really the bang of your existence?
Pop is very shitty.
Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I kind of like a little bit of pop, but like, I don't understand why you guys hate it. It's like,
this isn't something that I hate. It's something that's just like, and again, there's a level of, like I said with Paul Kelly, it's like, that's something, if I can remember to say it about what Kyle just said, that if there's like pop music I like, then it's like something I don't like enough. Like Take Me to Church, I genuinely like that song.
Take Me to Church is a good song.
Yeah, and also partially because I figured out the guy's Irish who made it, and I heard it recently coming from someone else's room in the dorm. Yeah, Nina. But I do prefer the Goldfinger version because it does English and German. It's like this. Like, I hear something like this, and I'm like, okay, it's not bad. She does have talent. She's good at what she does. But I'm not gonna like go out of my way to listen to it unless it's like something that's like, it would have to take like maybe something that's actually really good in that genre. Not to say this is not good, but it's just like the weird way I think of it. And I do remember what Kyle said. It was something on the classic rock radio station in the area here, and just out of nowhere, for some reason, the announcer just said, like, Tom Petty saved us from disco.
Anyway,
and I'm like,
regarding Mo or Ma, I don't really know how it's pronounced, but oh my god. Okay, so I do like the song. I'm not too sure if it's something that I would watch again or listen to again, but I do appreciate it for what it is. And as for you, Naka?
I mean, I'll always appreciate like the talent or sometimes lack thereof on certain artists of a musical artist or group, but when it just comes to their music, it's just like, all right, they put a lot of effort into this. They're actually trying. I respect the effort, and they're going to be successful, but I just don't like it.
I see what you mean. But anyway, that's really all I have to say regarding this one. But that's is that all you have to say regarding this, Krüz? Because there is something that I do want to do before you get to this next one.
You can go ahead and do it.
All right.
I think I just ramble on about what I'd already said.
Hey, Krüz.
What?
Are you ready to get down with the sickness?
Ready to get doot? Cause it's spooky season.
Do you wanna get down with the Facebook maker for Facebook profile sickness?
I had no idea where you were trying to go with that.
Didn't know I was going to a fucking concert tonight. _carrot face. Anyway,
Kind of lost me a little bit, but anyway, you know what it is. The intro to the song is actually not that, but it is still hype. It's likened to Korn and Blind. Are you ready? So this is like Death Punch this year. This is their 7th album, and it's coming on October 19th. I haven't followed the band closely. I have listened to their music, but I could not tell you what album a song is from, for example, except for the most recent one, which came on, it was Sound of Silence, Vengeful One, and The Light that came on that radio station a lot. Vengeful One is pretty good. And then, of course, Sound of Silence is brilliant. But so the band, here's what makes this album interesting, is that the band claims it's the most daring album of their lives. And if that's true, then there is a lot to look forward to here, because the only problem with some bands, and Death Punch has unfortunately sometimes been guilty of this, is just to sort of rest on their laurels a little bit and not be innovative with music. Although they did change that up with the last album a little bit more with like they did do a lot more acoustic stuff on the last album, Justice for None. And additionally, I don't know what the source from this was, but people have been saying that the band sees this as their Black album, which, if you don't know, is Metallica's 1991 self-titled album, which saw them go from pure thrash metal to incorporating more styles and diversifying their stuff, which to great commercial success. So I think what I've heard so far is that it's energetic, and the other song, Now We Fight or something, I forgot what the name of it was, but it was also good. I think that it's a really, if nothing else, it sounds like it's really solid. That they're all at the top of their game, that they know what they're doing. So I think the future is bright for them.
And Knock, I have a question. Are you a fan of Disturbed?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you mind want to explain a little bit more?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm asking. Well, I'm asking if you're a fan. Do you want to explain? Do you like their music? Is what I meant to say.
I mean, I like some more of their lighter stuff and some of their meme songs.
Right. You mean like ooh wah that song?
And I have to bring this up. The fucking
Stupefy.
Oh.
The one, the karaoke video, the guy goes ooh ah 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 ah.
Oh.
It's just ooh ah 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 ah.
It's so dumb.
Oh my God. And also, what qualifies for meme song is that 82-year-old guy singing "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor."
Let the Bodies Hit the Floor is not by Disturbed.
I know, but it's like it's in the same vein of like meme songs.
Or anything that you can just, use the bass song, put in and make a bunch of memes out of it, and then put it into Clone Hero. That's what I call a meme song. Disturbed has a lot of them. I can't believe I just said Chop Suey.
Chop Suey has a lot of them.
Chop Suey is by BYO. That's by BYOB.
Chop Suey is by BYOB.
That's by System of a Down. Oh God, you people
Chop
suck.
Suey is by BYOB. God damn it.
System of a Down. I meant to say System of a Down. I meant to say System of a Down.
Now we have that on recording.
Oh God.
Yes, but
I feel so fucking stupid right now.
The fact that they can go from like such heavy songs like Stupefy and Down to the Sickness, and then turn it around to the light and The Sound of Silence. It shows how talented they are.
The name.
Yeah.
And they do. It seems more fluid now than before because it's like, I don't know. I think I'm just hoping that they do a lot more. Like, I don't know. They're good, but I'm hoping that like there's some stuff they change up. I don't know, because I'll probably get some of the songs from this album. I'll probably just pick and choose some of them, and probably get some of the older songs that I've been meaning to listen to. Like the Vengeful one is one I'd like to listen to, but I haven't bought the song yet.
Anyway, that's all I have to say regarding Disturbed. I'm glad that they're doing a Let's Play, but yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. And for those of you who know what I'm referencing, you'll understand. Anyway, that's all I have to say regarding that. Anything else you want to say, Naka?
Nope, let's go.
Okay,
I'm gonna go turn my lights on and get a drink, but I will still be in the room. But
okay, cool.
Go ahead and announce this next one so I can do the thing.
Who is doing a Let's Play? I don't know what that was about.
Anyway, Krüz.
So, a little mini story time. I found this next band by accident, and I'm really glad I did. So I was in English class, and it was like intro to writing, like college course, and we came across the word chthonic, and I decided to look it up because the professor hadn't seen it before, and it was like, so it means of or belonging to the underworld. So it seemed natural that it was a name for a metal band, which happens to also be from Taiwan. On top of that, the singer, and I know we said no politics, but this is something that's still cool to mention. Singer is a legislator in the Taiwanese government for like their, it's called the New Power Party. I think it's like their Green Party or something like that.
Okay.
So this is their 9th studio album, and of course it has an epic name, Battlefields of Asura. Or if you want to say extra anime, Battlefields of Asura. I don't know. There are 2 versions, one in English and one in Taiwanese, like Sabaton's Carolus Rex, which was released in English and Swedish. The Link song is the only one available currently, which is Millennia's Faith Undone. The video's from the Taiwanese version, but I've gotten the English version just so like, so the other songs I know that they alternate between English and Taiwanese, and I also did bring some songs up in a presentation I did for my East Asian history class, and the professor was very interested in it. So yeah, this album released October 12th, and so far it sounds really good. And I'm still new to this band. I've only listened to like 5 of their other songs, but I'm like, holy shit, there's like so much to get into. And I'm just like figured, this is what I do with some bands. It's like if I just have figured out who they are, then I'll just start with their most recent album and then go from there. That's kind of how it was with Testament, and I found them in like 2012, and I got their new album at the time, which was Dark Roots of Earth. And then I went back and got some other songs, and then I got their next album, Brotherhood of the Snake. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get this album because I thought
Brotherhood.
Chthonic is really fucking good.
I thought Brotherhood of the Snake was a Testament album.
Yeah, it is. Oh. I meant that the way I've gotten into bands was the first Testament album I got was the one before that, Dark Roots, and so I knew of the band at the time, so I got their next album.
So I was listening to Chthonic. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I was listening to them, and I one of the things that I really liked in this video is the female singer, just the way that she harmonizes the rock part of the harmonizes a rock song. It's actually kind of cool to listen to.
I think there are. I don't know if it's always the same person, but there. Right. I think this was a different singer they featured, but like they've done that in some other songs as well, but it wasn't always clear who it was because all the descriptions and subtitles are in Taiwanese. So
Taiwanese is basically just another dialect of Chinese.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's basically. I mean, my professor, who was like from China, she could understand it pretty clearly.
Oh, by the way, Krüz, I want to bring up something. While I was researching on Chthonic, and I do have to bring this up, there was a quote that they are pretty much known as the Black Sabbath of Asia. Is that what they call them?
I've heard that, but I think they're more like they play kind of like Trivium, but less thrashy.
Yeah.
More of like, because one of their songs is called Broken Jade, sounds a lot like Into the Mouth of Hell We March, which was also from an album called Shogun, which is also Asian related. But they are, I don't know like what they said about that makes that think that it's Black Sabbath like. Black Sabbath was, I guess it makes sense in that they might be like pioneers of the genre in that region, because you've had bands from unlikely places. Like there's a band from Iraq called Akrasakauda, and they relocated to New York for obvious reasons, because music of that nature would not really be welcome in that region. So,
yeah, that's all I have to say regarding Chthonic. Anything that you want to say, Naka?
I love female singers in hard rock and metal, in metal bands. Like even if they're just on like certain tracks, just because, well, A, it's a nice change of pace, and B, it shows that not just men can do metal. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's something we've known, because one of the times when Sabaton was headlining, both of the bands were female frontage, and that was Battle Beast and Leaves Eyes. Battle Beast was really good. But I think that was a little aside that I took earlier that said, like, people are like, oh, they don't want female fronted to be a genre. My response to that was that, well, female singers and screamers tend to either go to power metal or like death metal. They do tend to go to those two genres, or folk metal really, but those are the genres they focus on. So it's not a genre of being female, it's just that females tend to go to those genres. And this is, of course, follows that. It's kind of like they're like, what's it called? It's called Oriental metal is another word, but it's more like a almost Opeth-like in a way, but more like a thrashy Opeth.
Yeah.
In a way. Opeth is something different.
Yeah, but that's all I have to say. So
also the fact that it's from Taiwan.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else you want to say, Krüz?
I think that's it, but I'm really excited for this.
Awesome. So why don't we move on?
All right.
Okay, what's that banging sound? Can someone please tell me what that banging sound is?
It's not me.
All right. Well, just anyway.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Max Cavalero's band, and that's the same intro song, is former and founding member of the Brazilian thrash metal band Sepultura, along with his brother Igor on drums. As soon as I saw they were featuring Randy Blythe, singer of Lamb of God, on a new song, Dead Behind the Eyes, I knew that it was going to be good. I also recommend checking out the title track, which starts out with what I assume is some Native American chant, since Max talked about working with members of the Navajo Nation, which I actually did visit a few years ago, and it's a really cool place. And this release is October 19th, and so far, I think 3 of the songs are available. And I've been listening to Dead Behind the Eyes and Ritual on repeat because, God, it's just so catchy, because it's a perfect blend of like almost like Korn kind of headbanging metal and thrash metal. And you really hear the Korn influence come through in Ritual. And then it also kind of gets to more thrashy stuff. So it proves that the band is more dynamic. And the fact that you don't know what anyone is saying other than Ritual through the chorus, I think that's actually pretty cool. It's just so it's like, you can't make it out, which I think is intentional and is also really cool.
Yeah. I almost feel like this song was going to be something that what's his name? Jason Paradise would play because I really like Jason Paradise. I don't know if
you might.
Yeah, but
I saw something about him recently. He's apparently had long-standing anxiety that he hadn't addressed. But I'm glad that he's gotten,
support system.
Yeah, he's gotten that for that. I'm glad he's doing better than in that case.
Yeah.
So I think I could see. Oh, maybe he'd check out the song. I don't know if he does it kind of like in the same way as 8-Bit Drummer does in like request base. But I haven't been on his streams, but I've just seen some of his videos.
What do you think, Naka?
Yeah.
Good metal, great. There's metal, good metal, and great metal. This falls under the category of great metal.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, Max Cavalera knows what he's doing, and one of the cool things about this was that he was talking about his experience in the area he went, which Navajo Nation's in Monument Valley, and it's near Kayenta, Arizona.
Right.
And so he was like talking about when he arrived there, and it was like he's like in his accent, it's like there was this a bed sheet across the front of the venue that said "Soulfly tonight." There were no other signs anywhere, but then like the place they played was packed, and it was like that's something that's really cool because I can tell you that something about South Americans in metal is like they love the shit out of Korn, they love the shit out of Metallica, they love the shit out of Slayer. I mean, they have some dedicated fans in South America, and also I think Native Americans too, because they feel like I guess that's also partially because Chuck Billy is, part Native American himself, which inspired him to write Native Blood, which is a really good song. So, yeah. This is, I think, Soulfly. This is a band I didn't listen to as much. I listened to Sepultura more.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely going to start listening to Soulfly a lot more after this.
Is there anything else you want to say, Naka?
Not about this one, but the next one. Sucks that Nero's probably passed the hell out in Iceland. Because it's probably like dark now, like 18 hours of the day now.
Yeah. I mean, although he isn't here, I think we can still give him a shout out. Well, first of all, shout out for showing me this band. Because I've enjoyed the hell out of what they've released so far. For that band, and if you know Nero, it's Skálmöld. Sorgir. I think I don't know. Pronunciation is fucked, but whatever. The new album from this underrated Icelandic folk metal band is almost here. It's coming October 12th. The single Hundin sem vikine klorar, which was like the hands that claws the wall, and that was released earlier this year, and it's going to be this album's closing song, which is, it's fitting. The two other tracks that came from the album are Sorgir, I think would be the pronunciation, but I don't know. It's like that symbol, the little fucking D looking thing is like, I don't know, the pronunciation is weird. It's like it says like a TH, but it's also not, so it'd be like Sveriol. I don't know. Nero can help me with that later. But the newer one has been linked, which is Mori. And so Nero told me that the first song, which I couldn't pronounce, was about a Viking who brags about his weapons, armor, and all that. And then when he is challenged to a fight, he's killed because weapons failed him. The second one is about a demon or spirit of some kind that I believe possesses a man and makes him kill the woman he loves, which, and that implies to me that this album seems to be, at least in some part, leaning towards the horror side of Norse mythology, which, if you've seen the movie The Ritual or have played or watched, like I have watched, Unforgiving, A Northern Hymn, it can be pretty fucking creepy. And I think that's a side of Norse mythology they haven't touched on as much because they've been more towards, the warrior and the realm of the gods kind of side. But there are some creepy fucking monsters that don't get highlighted much in Norse mythology. because it's not like Greek mythology where you have like specific monsters all the time. It's more like anything could be a monster almost in a way.
I mean, when we're talking about Norse mythology, like, I'm not sure if this was just in Thor Ragnarok or if it's actually a part of Norse mythology, that basically the eternal being of fire, Surtur, comes and destroys everything of the Norse gods. Asgard.
Yeah, I do have to say that I really enjoyed listening to Skálmöld, even though I couldn't understand what they were saying. I really did like their harmonics. Their harmonics were really good.
I think there were some roughly translated lyrics in the description, not this description. I mean the comments. So the tone was that the spirit was mocking the person, saying like, "Now she's dead. What are you gonna do?" Kind of like thing, which seems like basic, but I don't know. You think of the implications of that on someone, and that's like, damn, it gets pretty fucked. But it's cool, and it sounds really good.
It is really cool, and I really do like it.
So yeah, folk metal for you. That is coming your way, and that
Norse
is
folk metal.
Yeah, that is coming your way, and that is going to wrap up the music section. Holy shit, that was beefy.
Yes, that was, and we're not even halfway done yet.
No, we're only on page 2.
Roll the cartoons.
Yeah, all right.
Let's go on to the sports update real quick. Seahawks lost by 2 points, unfortunately, but that's the way things go. The Browns won because Baker Mayfield is actually playing now. Unfortunately, the Ravens lost. Let's see. The Monster Mile, also known as Dover, has struck the playoffs in both Xfinity and Cup Series. Christopher Bell won the Xfinity Series, and Chase Elliott won the Monster Energy Cup Series race. Go team! You won a snooze fest because from what I heard, the Xfinity race was pretty good. Cup race today, oh my god, I about fell asleep.
It was that boring.
Dover just sucks. I don't know why we go here twice. We should only go here once, but whatever. Austin Cedric in the Xfinity chase moves on to round 2, and Justin Allgaier does also move on to round 2. Ross Chastain, who, actually has talent and isn't, in a ride because of nepotism, is out by 2 points because of Austin Cindric. Thanks again, cunt.
Nope.
Well, Talladega can't be talked about because that's next week, and we're not here next week.
Yay!
And I will not talk about it when we come back in 2 weeks, just because that would take 4 goddamn ever.
Anyway.
See, Kyle, I can call you a bandwagon fan because of the Rams. I know that's a sore spot, but still.
Anyway.
All right.
I mean, to their credit, I think the Browns' defense has always been tough, but they were exceptionally tougher this time around. But your kicker fucking sucks. I don't know how a guy from the School of the Blind can kick a game-winning field goal, even though it was a fucking gimme chip shot. How?
I don't know.
I'm like Jeff at the magic show, like from Achievement Hunter. What? How?
Wow, somebody's salty.
Meanwhile, fucking Gano had like a 63-yard game winner. What the fuck?
That's got to be probably one of the toughest ways to lose is a 63-yard field goal.
I mean, when the Ravens did that, and it was 61 yards, but in that game against the Lions, Justin Tucker had scored all of their points.
We need another wolf in the treehouse who's good at sports.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it was I forgot who made the video, but it was someone about like a simulation of each fan for a season. It was like the Rams, 2 Rams fans. They were confused to like, I don't know, are they still our team? Are they still our team? And the Browns were like, I hate losing to the Ravens. That's our team. It's like,
anyway,
fucking no, it's not, bitch.
Oh my god, guys. I hate to interrupt, but
what?
Duran just posted a tweet of I believe the pumpkin head used in Halloween 3, and you're not gonna. It literally has the silver shamrock.
Oh, that fucking thing!
Yeah.
Oh my god. So I didn't watch the whole movie, but like I mentioned, I watched the dead meat thing of it, and even he does a good enough job of describing that you don't need to see some of the stuff, because some of the stuff is like just extra filler scenes and stuff like that. But the song, holy shit, that song, he's like, they
Iconic.
really go ham on that through the whole movie.
They really do. But anyway, Naka, video games.
One thing I do want to touch up on sports, usually about every Wednesday or Thursday, there's a YouTube channel called Urinating Tree that does This Week in Sports Ball. It basically covers all the NFL games played within the previous week. So,
and he also does Days of Our Steelers.
Days of Our Steelers, yes.
I love that channel. It's so good.
I'm still waiting on Seattle sports teams for lolcows, but that'll be another time.
If you want your shit-talking sports stuff, that's the guy for you.
I mean, at the All-Star break, he said that the Mariners aren't punching their fans in the dick. And then about towards the end, towards playoff time, he said, yeah, the Mariners are punching their fans in the dick again.
Yeah, and it's like today he tweeted, it was like, and the Falcons are imploding. Am I watching the right implosion? Yeah, the Falcons are fucking useless. We'd better not lose to them, because fucking hell, they suck so bad.
Man, sports has been weird this year. Anyway, on to the meat and potatoes. We have a report of a new Nintendo Switch model coming out in 2019. There is no visual for this, but bear with us.
Yes.
Nintendo...
They don't show us what it looks like.
Well, of course not. They don't know. They don't even know what it's going to be anyway.
Even the No from Rooster Teeth did a video about it, and even they just used a picture of the regular Switch with like a question mark on it or whatever.
Anyway, continue.
But Nintendo hopes to boost sales momentum of the Switch, which came, and this new model will come out sometime in the second half of 2019, and will most likely share features with the current version. Hardware and software upgrades and features are still in the air, but one of them being considered is a more recent smartphone-style LCD screen for a brighter screen, a thinner screen, and it's more efficient on power.
Yeah, makes sense.
So
I do have to mention something here regarding the new Nintendo Switch model. Obviously, I mean, we kind of knew this was going to be happening no matter what. There was nothing, there was nothing stopping it from not happening.
I mean, it's like it's just the name of the thing. Like, you had Xbox and then Xbox One. But I think.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, it's my boy. But I think one of the theories, again, the No Rooster Teeth proposed this. I think they was that it might be like a XL thing, that it might be more of like an iPad Pro kind of thing. Like,
it would be more powerful and larger.
Yeah, but then that would mean, okay, but would it work in the same dock? Would it be like you put it in the dock and it just goes falls over? I could see it going either way. That either it's making it lighter than it is. It's already pretty portable as it is, but I think one of the problems they wanted to address was that there were hardware issues that were exploitable from the original Switch for hacking and stuff. And I mean, I think this is more of a response to that. They're not going to say that, of course. You're not going to want to say that, but I could see it going either way, either being a lighter Switch or one that's just a larger display, maybe optimized a little bit. I don't know. It's probably not one that's worth getting if you already have a Switch that I see. I'm just saying that right now. The details might change, and that my stance on it might change. So
yeah, everything is still very much in the air, out in the water, just out there in their ass that they haven't blown out yet. Whatever.
You can't, or Carlin. You can't sneeze and piss at the same time. You blow your asshole out.
Here's the thing. I like the Nintendo Switch. I kind of expected this to happen. I'm still waiting for, some form of it's kind of interesting. Like, they released like the Nintendo Switch. I mean, the Nintendo 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS XL. And it's kind of like I really hope it's like something along the lines of just battery life. Because if they actually add a new feature that will be on the Nintendo Switch and not like that wasn't on the old one, I mean, it's gonna be really upsetting. Hi, Tucker. How are you? Hope you're having a great weekend. How are you doing today,
Hi,
Tucker?
Have a great day.
What do you want?
And shut the fuck up.
Well.
Oh yeah.
He wants to go.
Jesus, he's an insistent motherfucker.
He wants to go take a piss. So you guys go ahead and take your time and talk about Nintendo Switch Online right now, because that was a thing that we did, right?
Yep,
yes.
We did.
I will be right back.
I still haven't added our other guy, Dante, and
he's Dante PD. He's a very good nice.
You have his friend code or something?
I mean, do you really want me to spend a good portion of the show giving you his friend code? Because
I'm just saying this. I'm just saying this so I don't forget later, because I'm an idiot.
Well, yeah, I have him as a friend on my Nintendo Switch. And
anyway, I don't know the Switch. You can add me. It's my pinned tweet. If you want to go look at that, if you have a Switch, I'm happy to play. Because I mean, I've got work to do, but I really looking to get back into Rocket League, especially because Rocket League Pass, you get extra rewards and stuff. I haven't seen anything about the other Hot Wheels DLC. I think they just have like extra car models available.
Oh, you know what? I actually don't have his code. You'll have to ask him yourself. I have him as a friend, but I just don't have his code.
Oh, did you add him like by Twitter or something?
Yeah, you know what, guys? Just for shits and giggles, I'm just gonna type in my Switch code for you in case you guys are really interested in adding me on Nintendo Switch and seeing what kind of games I'm playing. And don't get me wrong, I don't. And for the record, I don't really play my Nintendo Switch often right now, because unfortunately I'm in school. I have other things I want to do.
Yeah.
It's
most
just
of the time
how it is
I'm
right
just squeezing in stuff for Rocket League.
However, we will be playing some games over on Twitch, I believe, once Naka gets actually here. Naka, are you here yet? Yeah, he's probably.
I hear him in the background.
But I would play.
Yeah, man, I'll play you in Rocket League. Fair warning, Zach, in Rocket League, I get very heated.
Yeah.
And like.
And not only that, he can only play Rocket League if you have the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, if you watch it has crossplay actually.
It has crossplay.
Yeah, well, the thing is that I don't think that you can make. I want to say that they changed this in an update where you can make cross-platform parties, but I haven't seen how to do it yet. But I'm pretty sure that's something that Rocket League did. But right now I have it on Switch. I think Zach has it on Steam, and so yeah. Well, we definitely should.
And I've got it on 3 goddamn platforms.
Yeah, I figured.
You have Rocket League on 3 different platforms?
Yeah, I've got it on the Switch. I've got it on Xbox One because I pay for Xbox Game Pass, and I have it for the Switch.
Yeah.
I thought you had it on the PC.
Xbox.
I have it on the PC. That's what I said. I probably said Steam.
He has it on everything.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have Xbox just to get those achievement points.
I don't have Rocket League. I'm just gonna let you guys know. I don't have Rocket League
because you're a scrub.
No, it's not because I'm a scrub. It's just because there are other games that I want to play.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: when we're actually doing our Twitch stream for video games and for donations, and we will be doing that, we're going to be supporting Boozy and his Extra Life, Basement Con stream. More on that later.
Oh yeah, I watched it. Yes, I did see his Corn stream, which was that was a game that was just kind of like. It almost reminded me of like Paradigm when Jacksepticeye played it, just the ridiculous humor.
Yeah.
And his Layers of Fear playthrough was also pretty good. I made a clip of that that I still have stored, which is it's pretty funny. It's just his. He's just like, I'm not going to, at the beginning of the stream, it's like, I'm not going to get scared because I know what's happening. And then he's just standing on a thing that while something's chopping down the treehouse under him, he's just like, wah, wah.
Yeah, but any of that. But other than that, that's really all I have to say.
I had to do it to him.
Yeah, that's really all I have to say about Nintendo Switch. But, more on that later. We'll wait until an actual release date for this new thing comes out. But that's all I have to say. So, Naka, why don't we move on?
Oh, speaking of video games on Switch, we have, and we actually have visuals for this. That would be Mark of the Ninja Remastered. And it's a 2D action platformer remade with new visual sounds and 4K graphics on the platforms that support 4K plus QuickTime events. But I think that was part of the original game anyway. Along with a special edition that includes, I believe it's Dawson's Tale and dev commentary. You've got Mark of the Ninja Remastered. This game originally released as an Xbox Live Arcade game back on the 360 in 2012. But is releasing again with updated graphics and sounds for Xbox One, PS4, Steam, and the Switch. Clay Entertainment, known for Mark of the Ninja, Don't Starve, and Don't Starve Together, and Oxygen Not Included, they're well liked.
Oh, it's that studio.
Yes, it's those people.
I know them. I played Don't Starve.
There's a ton of plot and stuff that I could go into, but it would take forever. And we already have a big enough show as it is. So, it's not going to be too expensive. At most, it'll probably be like $20, maybe. Because Xbox Live Arcade games never really sold for more than 20.
20 to 30 range.
But you can go play it for yourself if you want. It releases on the platforms, like I said above, on Tuesday the 9th.
First impression that the ninja looks like a combination of, well, from the picture he kind of looks like Sasuke, but it was like a combination of Samurai Jack and Kratos by the body tattoo thing. This looks like a really I'm not sure how the original looked, but this version looks like a really well polished platformer with stealth elements to it. Like, they're all saying, "Oh, it's a stealth game." Like, well, you're not wrong, but it's also primarily a platformer. It's kind of like also that game, My Friend Pedro.
Do you vote for him?
Which I've seen some gameplay of. I wanted to. I didn't. I don't have the shirt. But yeah, it's Pedro is also a banana, by the way, in that game. But this game looks really good. I don't know. I think. I don't know because I don't have as much storage on my Switch, so I might end up getting it for the Xbox. But it seems like it may be more of a Switch-suited game for me. And, of course, I don't have a 4K TV, so it doesn't really matter to me. But, I don't know. This does look like a game I would have a lot of fun with.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say regarding Mark of the Ninja, but I do like the visuals that were inside of it. So it's really cool. That's all I have to say regarding this one.
All right, and I'm gonna move on to. Oh boy, it's time for the Bagel Club, and nobody here gets that except for me. So.
Oh no, Gorgo's here. Anyway, check out the Let's Play channel. In this, that's the name of the channel, Let's Play, and they did a playthrough of some WWE, and Michael, of course, made Garbo Man in that game, and it's a fun video to watch, so I recommend that.
So it is another WoW game. You guys know how I feel about yearly sports games, but WWE usually gets a pass. Usually because, they have to actually make new, unique character models each year.
I will say that whatever was in the trailer was unique, I'll say that.
And this is more of a fast and fluid gameplay style compared to the more simulation style, like in 2018, like in 2K18, 17, 16, those games. And it hopes to get back some of the older fans of the older games. Like I said, there's more character customization. There's an updated roster with a couple new game modes as well. And the 2K Showcase mode focuses on the career of Daniel Bryan, where you take control of 11 different unique models of Daniel Bryan as you go through his wrestling career, including his match against John Cena. The Super Omega Ultimate Turbo Championship Edition versions have already released on the 5th. Because, more and more games are doing early access nowadays. But the standard version releases on PC, Xbox One, and PS4 on the 9th this Tuesday.
A random aside, speaking of early access games, I watched Jacksepticeye's playthrough of Visage. That game looks really fucking good. It's a horror game, and it's very much heavily PT inspired, and it looks legit. But about this game, not as much of a wrestling fan. I've had friends who are heavy wrestling fans. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, someone like Twitch is too as well. But I don't have the capacity to really follow it as much. I don't shit on it as much because it's entertaining for the memes, such as John Cena, of course, and Bonesaw is ready, and the fun gameplay you get from Achievement Hunter in games like that. So yeah, to be honest, up front, probably not going to get it, but I didn't wonder how that McGregor fight turned out. But
all I really heard is that his opponent, and a lot of people say McGregor's like a scumbag, even though he does a lot of it for just publicity, and he's actually probably a genuinely nice person. But I think it's mainly just the publicity of
he's kind of like this. I'm pretty sure he seems Irish very much because of his beard color, if nothing else, and then because of his name too,
and the fact that he has a whiskey company.
Yeah. So, but either would be Irish or Scottish, but
but I don't really care if it was McGregor or Mayweather.
That's a lot of things with these personalities. It's sometimes hard to tell when they're being in character for the media or whether that's actually who they are. Because in a lot of cases, it's not always the same.
I don't like Kyle Busch in NASCAR for his character because I think he's just a big fucking crybaby bitch sometimes.
It's for the narrative of.
It's mainly just. It's his actions on the track and everything like that, but off the track, he's actually a genuinely really good person, and actually cares about his fans. So
if it makes you feel any better, I hated when they made what's his name kill off the Undertaker's record streak from WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar.
Something like that goes against the narrative of the whole thing because.
Well, yes, I know WWE is fake. I get it. It's just
Well, it's not that it's fake. It's
scripted.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But that's because it's not the people. It's not about the people. It's about the characters that the people play.
Right.
So it is an act. But
and I do like WWE. I mean, I used to watch it a lot, but then I realized. But then, I fell out of it for whatever reason. But hey.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know if this is.
Do you have anything else to say, Naka?
Kahib won't get paid.
Oh, no.
Was he disqualified or something?
The thing that happened was that last night, after he choked out, well, quote-unquote choked out Conor McGregor, he tapped out. He hops out of the octagon, quite literally, climbs over the fence, starts attacking some of Conor McGregor's guys, and then some of Khabib's guys start attacking Conor McGregor while he's still trying to recover from what just happened while he's in the octagon.
I see what you mean.
That's what happened last night.
I could see that at the very least being fined because
he's not even. He probably won't even get his title.
Probably not, but hey,
because Dana White's is no, that's absolutely unacceptable.
I mean, that's not okay. I mean,
Conor McGregor does a lot of stuff.
You feel upset about a sports result, and that's where the salt mines go flowing. But taking it out after a game on people who were largely not involved is just don't do it. Just don't.
Anyway, moving on to the shitstorm of the agenda.
Okay, for the record,
I will say there is one thing I like about this so far is
for the record, I had nothing to do with it. This was just part of the schedule.
The ad for this with Big Enough, the dick punch Big Enough, was actually funny.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Really? I have to talk about this Battle Royale multiplayer-only Call of Duty game that's supposedly supposed to take place between Black Ops 2 and 3,
Why is it called Black Cops? Why is it called Black Ops if there are no black cops in it?
Bad joke, but let me continue. Everybody's made that joke ever since the first one came out.
It's called Blops, silly.
But the fact that they say, oh, it's supposed to be, between Black Ops 2 and 3, there's no story to back that up.
Yeah, I mean...
It's that you claim it is between Black Ops 2 and 3, but you have nothing to show for it with no single player. I mean, the only single player element, I guess, where you could probably just pause the game on your own is the zombies mode, but that's probably the only thing. But knowing Activision, and because this is multiplayer only, they probably just removed the pause feature, so whenever you hit the start button, or whatever your respective pause button is for the respective platform you're on, it's probably just not going to pause the gameplay. It'll just bring up the options menu.
Right.
Because, of course, but again, zombies is probably the only redeeming mode, and that kind of sort of follows the story set in 2 that went into 3. The zombies timeline is very confusing, so I'm just like, it's sort of following, even though kind of in some apps it isn't. It's weird.
It's just amazing how there's a thing called Nazi zombies in Call of Duty games.
Yeah, but it's just, it doesn't redeem the fact that this is a multiplayer-only microtransaction
that's like the
shitstorm.
The feature most people agree upon with COD games is that the zombies mode is always consistently entertaining. I have played it myself, actually. I played Black Ops 3 zombie mode at an arcade in Las Vegas, but like the hotel arcade, but which was pretty fun. It was kind of like a cool, like, you have to shore up your defenses, go around and try to organize that and all that. That's fun, but it's not enough to let me get this game. And it's not specifically the Royale thing that worries me. I mean, it's just that they're relying exclusively on multiplayer, which I don't think is a good move.
I'm surprised Activision Blizzard hasn't even made their own console yet.
No, they honestly, the way that they're going is that they're shitting the bed. Because like, I'm gonna get into the blackout mode a little bit later in the beta, but there's going to be paid DLC out the ass, with some maps being locked behind either the season pass or you have to buy them in the map pack.
Damn.
Microtransactions, everybody.
Basically alienating players.
Anytime that EA or Activision or whatever has said that they value feedback, that is a steaming pile of horse shit. And the reason why is because we still have microtransactions. Stop. We don't want them. Stop.
I mean,
stop.
More companies are actually sort of moving away from paid DLC in some ways. At least with Forza Motorsport 7, they're doing showcase cars. You get one free car a month, and, it's not really part of the DLC pack, but, you're still getting support for just playing the goddamn game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like Black Ops 3 for its story and its zombies mode because they're both actually really good. I hate the multiplayer because pretty much everything's locked behind a paywall of loot boxes. Seriously,
and not only
half the weapons in Black Ops 3 multiplayer are locked behind microtransaction-infested loot boxes.
EA makes everything into a DLC now. That's what Lady Serena Kitty said.
Yeah, Serena. I can't remember it specifically, but I've seen some good memes about that. It's like, it was something like T. It was like TEA, that like teabag not included or something stupid shit like that. But
I mean, hey, at least it's not Final Fantasy All the Bravest. I mean, and for those of you who don't know, all the bravest from Final Fantasy All the Bravest is a STD written dick in the mouth to any Final Fantasy fan and any video game consumer. It's basically microtransaction the game.
What the problem is, or one side of the problem is that when you have a game where they release it but you can clearly tell it's not the complete version that you would have to buy for the gold version or the definitive edition or whatever.
Right.
Which is not always the case. I mean, the definitive edition sometimes just has like a previous game included in it. Like, I got the Far Cry season pass, and that also included all the DLCs and Far Cry 3, which I haven't played yet, but I want to. Locking like certain like actual weapons, not just weapon skins, behind a paywall is a little bit. My issue with like the transaction, the paywall thing is that a lot of people, or I think a studio or something has mentioned that they wanted to make sure, or they were making sure that the things that you could buy were purely cosmetic.
Yeah.
Which has not necessarily been enforced per se, but I would see, because the thing with Rocket League is like if you have to pay for like a new car skin, that doesn't change your stats. That's pure. That is that's purely cosmetic. It just looks cool, but like very few things, like almost like nothing upgrades your performance. It's all for like what you want to make your car look like.
Yeah, that's all I have to. That's all I have to say regarding.
I have more to talk about this game.
All right, go.
Some people rant to go through.
Like Sims 4, like the Sims franchise is just a great example of DLC out the ass. But from what I've heard and from what I've read, is that with EA, with Battlefield 5, is that basically they're going to release DLC as free content, which is strange.
If it gives you a clue as to how people feel at EA when they announced Royale mode, literally everyone was just like, "Oh."
Well, they never said DLC had to be paid for. It's just downloadable content.
Yes, but EA is actually trying to transition into free DLC as well, unlike Activision. Thanks, fuckers.
Yeah,
But we need to talk about Blackout, which is the Battle Royale mode. It is basically just a first-person Fortnite and PlayerUnknown Battleground PUBG clone to cash in on the craze that is so stupid. I honestly, I'm going to. Well, I don't like saying the phrase boycott blank because I find it fucking stupid, but because it's just my personal thing. But I'm just not gonna fucking play this game. Never. I played the beta of just the multiplayer mode, and I thought it was just a super shitty version of Black Ops 2. At least Black Ops 2 had the charm from like the Modern Warfare games and the first Black Ops game. But that's what made Black Ops 2 actually really good. And then, there was actually story on top of it. And then that was the same with Black Ops 3, except the multiplayer's just shit there. But, if you want to spend if you practically want to spend hundreds of dollars just to get to level 2 in multiplayer, it comes out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One on the 12th, along with there's going to be mountains and mountains of paid DLC, and I'm knowing Activision, they're probably just going to separate the zombies modes from Blackout and multiplayer.
It's
what EA said. Serena's right. They're free if you pay for them.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That's actually kind of funny. Don't you think, Naka?
Hotel El Royale. God fucking damn it. Well, here's the thing about Fortnite. I don't hate the game. I hate the community. I think the memes of like people getting angry about it are funny, and the memes surrounding it are funny. But I just don't really play the game myself. I played it a little bit. I'm not that into it. But
I just mainly suck at third-person shooters. That's why I hate Battle Royale games. But, I've got Fortnite on the Switch. I made an Epic Games account, and I was just, I'm going to give it another try, because it's a bunch of shit.
Aaron did from Game Grumps in the parody Totally Accurate Battle Royale, or Totally Accurate Battlegrounds, which is, tabs with its wiggly waggly physics in Royale mode, and he's just, when he runs into a guy, he's just like, that. That's me. I panic every time.
Yeah, that's really all I have to say regarding this particular.
It is yours free for only $2.99. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Lego DC Supervillains.
Something a little more charming.
At its core, it's a DC supervillain version of Marvel superheroes, Lego Marvel superheroes. Further in, a custom character that's actually tied into the main story that you can customize yourself, and upgrades like Ubisoft's South Park games is also actually pretty new and very interesting. The Justice League basically just said, fuck this shit, I'm out. So a parallel universe team known as the Justice Syndicate are Earth's new protectors right now. Lex Luthor brings together the Joker, Harley Quinn, Cheetah, along with a numerous amount of other supercriminals to form the Injustice League.
I don't know. I don't remember Cheetah. God, it's been a long time since I watched Justice League and all that.
Damn. And they formed the Injustice League and not Suicide Squad because that was a fucking piece of dog shit.
Injustice, reference to that other game. Meta.
But let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, fun fact about like the characters, they're actually bringing in like a pretty good voice cast for the characters. I'm not exactly sure who, but from what I've read, it's actually supposed to be like a great cast of, you know, they're closer to the iconic voices and everything, if not the original actors.
Question.
Yes.
Is Mark Hamill playing the Joker?
I was gonna ask that as well.
Actually, I can Google that because we have the power of the internet.
Just go to behind the voice actors and, you know, just type in Lego DC supervillains.
If it's not him, it's someone who can imitate it well enough.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's Margot Robbie doing Harley Quinn, is it?
Yeah, no. Mark Hamill is actually. Mark Hamill is the Joker. Clancy Brown is Lex Luthor. So we have
Clancy Brown. Yes.
How about
if you don't know, that is
playing Harley Quinn.
The guy who voices Mr. Krabs.
I love Tara Strong. She's Tara Strong, and I'm just gonna say this right now. I know Mark Hamill is married, but it really surprises me that Tara Strong is not married to Mark Hamill. But hey.
Well, I mean, the age difference might be a thing, but
well, you know,
I'm glad to see some, like, because I guess I said this, I don't know if people heard it, but yeah, Clancy Brown is Mr. Krabs, and he's also in Detroit Become Human as Hank.
That's not the only thing he's in.
Yeah.
That's a reason. That's a reason. Time.
What were we gonna say?
Time. Yeah.
But can I continue?
Yeah, of course.
When it turns out that the Syndicate are fucking dildos or whatever, the Injustice League must uncover and thwart their plans to thwart the Syndicate's plans and save the Earth. Turns out the Syndicate is basically it's the Bizarro version of everybody, so they're evil.
Okay.
And during that time, Darkseid searches for the anti-life equation, and once he finds out it's on Earth, an all-out war between the Earthlings and the forces of Apocalypse begins. This game actually seems very fun, like all Traveler's Tales, not Telltale, Traveler's Tales Lego games, and releases on the PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One on the 16th of October.
Awesome. No, but really awesome. I in all seriousness, this will probably be like a zenith of hope of what DC could have been, the DC universe rather could have been if they actually went this route. But hey, what do you have to say regarding this, Krüz?
It looks like it's got charm and wit, and you know, of course, you know, you got some of the OG actors in there, like you got Mark Hamill in there, but you got Tara Strong. Yeah, I'll probably buy it on the Switch, actually. But then again, I need to get more storage space for it. So yeah, that's the thing I need to do first. But it does look pretty fun.
You don't have an SD card for your Switch?
I do, but that one already has a game that I've installed.
Okay, so you're probably gonna have to get a bigger one.
Yeah.
Cody,
I'll do that eventually. I don't need to do it right now, but I will do it.
Cody, in case you're wondering how it is spelled, that is DARKSEID.
Darkseid.
But, you know.
But we must move on to a very brief one, but Dark Souls Remastered, excuse me. It's basically just Dark Souls 1 with updated graphics on the Switch that comes out on the 19th, and that's pretty much it.
Right.
I was initially gonna get it on the Switch, but then I got on the Xbox first, and I'm like, whatever. Hey, man, good man. Batman is my favorite DC person, hero thing, creature, whatever.
Moving on to Luigi's
Dark
Mansion
Shadows.
3DS.
Yes.
Spooky.
So Luigi won a mansion, even though it was part of a contest he didn't even enter. I'm looking at Goblet of Fire, and wants to meet up with Mario at the mansion. However, Mario just disappears in the mansion, and it turns out to be more sinister than Luigi believes. Luigi goes to Professor Egad, and it's explained that the mansion is otherworldly. Turns out King Boo wanted a home for his ghost friends that were captured by Egad in paintings. Upon learning that Mario entered the mansion, Egad gives Luigi the Poltergust 3000 to capture ghosts. Toast.
Goats. The Luigi board?
And a multi-purpose invention called the Game Boy Horror to speak with the Lukester, fight more ghosts, and save Mario.
Which is not a log of spit.
Yes.
The Lukester. The meanest spitter in town.
This is literally a port of Luigi's Mansion from the GameCube onto the 3DS, and that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
It's like people say, "Oh, it's just a port. Oh, it's gonna be bad." It's not a bad thing.
No, it's been a while since we've actually had a port of. It's been a while since we've actually gotten a port of this game.
It's been 2013 since we got a Luigi's Mansion game.
Yeah.
I didn't remember. I forgot about all the sequels, but
there's only one sequel right now.
Was it
Luigi's Mansion?
Dark of the Moon.
Dark Moon.
Yeah, Dark Moon. That's 2, and then there's 3. Yeah.
Well, 3. This is basically a holdover title until Luigi's Mansion 3 comes out whenever in 2019
on the Switch.
On the Switch. If you weren't able to experience the original game on the GameCube, you now have the prequel to Dark Moon.
But I couldn't beat it because it was just like I had no idea what was going on a lot of the time.
You now have the prequel to Dark Moon that comes out on the 12th in North America and the 19th in Europe for the Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, what do you have to say regarding this game, Krüz? Because I haven't played. I mean, I tried playing Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube, and then I realized it just wasn't for me because I don't.
It's not a bad game, and I did enjoy playing it on the GameCube, but it was just a game that at my age at the time, I wasn't really inclined to really 100% or beat it. Like if I got stuck on a game, I would just start up another game. I didn't really think to look up a walkthrough either, but I figure I'm probably going to go for Luigi's Mansion 3 since I already have a taste of this one. Again, unfortunately, the 3DS is kind of a dying system in that there's not many new games that people are looking forward to coming out on it, not since the Pokemon games.
I'm still surprised the 3DS has held on for this long. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you guys,
it's dropped to the 3D title pretty much.
You want to know something funny? I still have my original 3DS, and it's just in a box right now. Yeah. I never got rid of it. I never sold it. I just kept it.
The 3DS at this point is basically just the Game Boy.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because since the Switch came out, it's like, why do you need it? You know what I mean?
No, the 3DS has lasted not only the Nintendo Wii, the Wii U, many iterations of itself, and the Switch. And it has no signs of stopping.
Did it last the GameCube? I mean, not the GameCube. The game. What Game Boys did it last so far?
The Game Boy lasted from the NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advanced when it came out in 01, and even GameCube.
Yeah, that's crazy. But who knows? Maybe this will be the system that has lasted longer than the original Game Boy. I don't know.
Yeah, it just needs to. Well, I think they need to stop with this small adjustments. Like they have a new 2DS out. Like they need to stop with that. Neither just think.
Can I just say
something new?
I need to say something right now. Can I borrow the floor real quick?
Yeah.
Hey, Nintendo. Hey, I understand that you're kind of cool and everything, but if you can do me a big favor, I know that you made Luigi's Mansion 3DS, but if for some other reason, can you please make a remake of the best Paper Mario game, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door for the 3DS? That would be great. Thank you. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, what do you have to say regarding that, Naka?
Hey, they made Sticker Star, so I don't think they're gonna listen to us.
Sticker Star is terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can I move on to Starlink Battle of Atlas? I'm gonna move on to Starlink Battle of Atlas now. Okay.
Okay.
Atlas Rise?
No, you rise off of that. You're in the Atlas system, but whatever. The game has this game has exclusive Star Fox content on the Switch, but that's not really important. Even though Scarfy wanted me to talk about it because oh my god, Star Fox! Starlink Battle of Atlas, of which I will call Atlas for this review because it's a bit of a fucking mouthful, has more than Star Fox exclusivity. This action adventure game also features optional, and I put optional in not only bold, but underlined and italicized, or italics, I should say. Yes, optional Toys to Life elements, which means that you can buy the game digitally and still never need to use the Toys to Life element because it's basically just, it's basically just like a different way to play the game a little bit, but...
Are they amiibos, or are they just some different things?
No, it would just be like some weird controller setup that you could do that shows like more of the screen and like more features, like more options that aren't just like the button commands, but whatever. Ubisoft, you actually have been doing things right recently. With free content for The Crew 2, mainly that right now, but, hey, they're not shoving like Toys to Life down our throat like Skylanders, Disney Infinity, blah, blah, blah. And your character is based in the Atlas star system, which is 430.5 light years away from our solar system. Your mothership...
That's a bit of a ways.
Yeah, it's a bit of a ways. Your mothership, the Equinox, is ambushed by the Forgotten Legion and crashes on a nearby planet. The captain is taken hostage by the Legion's leader, Grax, whom is obsessed with an extinct race called the Wardens, who left much of their ancient yet super advanced technology behind. Forerunners, much? Is this basically just a different version of Halo? Maybe? I don't know. He wants to use the tech along with his Legion and acts as a... He wants to use that tech, and along with his Legion, acts as a constant threat to the player throughout their journey. The Switch has exclusive missions, characters, and ships tied into the Star Fox franchise, which is pretty cool and probably the closest thing we've gotten to a Star Fox title in a while. But where does Wolf from Star Wolf fit in? You have to play the game to find out. I don't think I really even added that. I think you... Scarfy, did you add that? Because I'm pretty sure I don't remember adding that.
I added it in, yes.
It's like the Forza thing. It's like where he stops reading the script. He's like, holy shit.
Well, you'll have to play the game on the Switch to find out because it doesn't say. And again, I didn't add that. You can blame somebody else. Wow. It releases... It actually is a really good title. But it's a really cool title. It releases for Xbox One, PS4, and the Switch on the 16th.
Okay, so one thing I do have to address here... I really, really wish this was a new Star Fox game.
I mean,
don't get me wrong. I understand.
How much is he incorporated into it? That's what I'm curious about.
It's not really how much of what it was incorporated. It's how much of what Nintendo has allowed Star Fox to be incorporated in. Well,
it's not Smash, of course. So I mean, it's like is it more like a playable character throughout the whole of the campaign, I would guess, in the game? Or is it... I don't know. Because I feel like a lot of people might get this game for Fox. I mean, that's probably something I would do.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I have no problem buying a new game. But if I'm going in there looking to play as Fox, and I get blue balled from that, not going to be a happy camper.
Right, and it's not that we are biased towards this because we're furries. It's just
we have it.
I just don't.
I'm not biased.
Want them to falsely advertise it.
I'm not biased because I'm a furry. I just really, really want a brand new Star Fox game.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but what do you think? What do you think of all this? What do you think of Star Fox, Naka?
It is. Probably, it's a franchise that needs more love, really.
Yes, it does. I mean, Wii U, it kind of did it justice, but at the same time, it kind of didn't, which is kind of sad.
I don't know what Wolf is eating in that trailer, but that's just something.
Yeah.
So I am confusion. Anyway, can we move on to The World Ends With You Final Remix, which is a DS port?
Sure.
Anime.
So, The World Ends With You Finally Remix is a DS game being ported to the Switch. An action RPG arranged into 3 chapters in which the main character, Neku, is involved with the Reaper's game. Each chapter is one of 3 weeks, and each chapter is divided into each day of the week. Neku and his partner explore Shibuya, the Shibuya district of Tokyo, and to complete each day's mission. Most missions require time-based completion, but the timer is not correlated to the passage of time for the player. Some areas are locked off, either on certain days or because of the current objective. Oh my god, there's a ton to go into. I'd honestly rather not take an hour and a goddamn half in this long as fuck show already.
Yes.
As much as I'd like to, we have time we can use. Different districts of Shibuya have different fashion trends, but I'm not really sure if that's true to reality. There's only one game that I've really explored every single pixel of the Shibuya transit area, and that is Jet Set Radio Future, which, by the way, that was that song that was our elevator music, which apparently Scarp was complaining about, like an elevator echo of chamber effect. That song is actually a remix of a song by BS2000 made up of former Beastie Boys members, but the people who remixed it are the Latch Brothers, and some of whom are former Beastie Boys members, so it's a little complicated. But that is featured predominantly in the sewers in Jet Set Radio Future, and then once you pass a certain part of the game, it just comes in the radio medleys. But it's a little strange how the music gets kind of cycled in that game, but yeah, that's where that's from. I had to tie it in somehow.
Yeah.
But that game, I'm going to talk about that game another day. There's a ton of gameplay and story to this game, and thanks to the new tech with the Switch, that includes touchscreen features not possible on the DS, the Joy-Cons, and the fact that it fits on one goddamn screen. This game is actually pretty sweet, and it releases on the Switch on the 12th.
I kind of wonder how well this game is going to work, because I heard this game is actually really well done. I just haven't played it, and I know from Square Enix they make really, really good titles and, really not so good titles, but at the same time they mostly make really good titles. So, I mean, I personally want to get this game, but only if I am allowed the resources to acclaim such a title before other titles. Good Lord, Krüz. Like, I understand. I'm sorry. Like, you burp, like, way too many times. Like,
look, I got a whole bottle of King Cobra. Fuck off.
Anyway.
It could be worse. It could be Mad Dog 357. Somebody donates $250 because you're doing a 24-hour stream, and whenever somebody donates $50, you take just a tiny little bit of this Mad Dog 357, which is super hot sauce, by the way.
If we're doing a 24-hour stream, I'm going to be really impressed.
No, this has happened. I mentioned this guy last week when I was talking about Forza Horizon 4, but Mr. Arrow HD, as a celebration for getting 150 subscribers on Twitch, which are paid subscriptions, mind you, they're different than followers, but he did a 24-hour stream, and he said every time, and a stipulation for him was every $50 that he got, like if somebody donated a chunk of $50, he would take he'd just pour a little bit onto a spoon, and then basically drink this hot sauce that's way, way hot. It's called Mad Dog 357. But somebody donated $250 for him to do a double shot. And,
oh, wow.
Yeah, that was fun. Because
yeah,
I ended up being in the
what's fun? I've seen a guy, and I don't know how this is comparatively, but yeah, I'm calling you out, Shutter. Come at me, bro. A guy put a Carolina Reaper in a bong. And if you don't know, Carolina Reaper, I'm pretty sure currently is the hottest pepper in the world, at least according to the metric scale that they use. The guy did not. He was having a bad time.
Okay.
And then when you burp it a little, vomit comes up. Whatever.
Anyway.
I'm not sure how his asshole has fared after last night, but, he hasn't really tweeted about it, or I just haven't, it hasn't been showing up in my Twitter. I'm pretty sure he's actually asleep right now, but whatever.
I mean, and I thought I had a bad time after attending, because my dad was a judge at one of these, the DC 101 Chili Cook-Off, it's a alt rock radio station in DC, and like, man, I thought I was having a bad time the day after.
No, but really, Krüz, what do you think of The World Ends With You?
I like, and it's kind of like, it seems like a more accessible than Persona. And not to say Persona isn't good. I have no idea what Persona is like, and that's the problem with it. But I think this is something that's more accessible to me because, it's coming to Switch. But I would like to get into one of those games. Like, like to get invested into one of those story-driven games like that. So, yeah. I mean, again, that all depends on if I have space or not, but I am inclined to get this one. Might not be as high on the list as some others, but still. It does look pretty good.
Oh, speaking of hot sauce real quick, I remember this story because this is when I was living in Hong Kong.
How did we get from hot sauce to the world end? How did we get from the world ends with you to hot sauce?
I'm not exactly sure, but
because in your name tree's voice, because reasons.
All right, can you like hurry this story up?
I'm gonna hurry this story up. This was
hurry it up like the shits that came out of your ass the day after.
But this was a decade ago when I was living in Hong Kong. I was at a restaurant with, they're basically now our family friends, but we were just good friends at the time. These other white people that lived in our same apartment complex.
Okay.
And we were all out at a restaurant, and the dad in this family really loves hot sauce. And when they were at this restaurant that I was at, well, I was there with them. He didn't know what this hot sauce was. He didn't know how hot it was. He just started pouring the hell out of it all over his food. And he didn't taste how spicy it was. Well,
damn.
It was so spicy that he ended up accidentally burning his lips a little bit.
Oh, God.
Oh, that was not...
Was it like ghost pepper sauce or something?
I'm not sure if it was, but it was still fucking spicy.
It could not have been like Texas Pete or Tabasco or something, because that stuff, yeah, it's spicy, but it's not going to kill you.
All right, let's move on to SoulCalibur 2 times 3 equals 6.
Yes, which is the biggest one out of all of them, I believe.
What's Sophie's huge tits? I must go investigate. Seriously, if you buy the collector's edition, you not only get like this special box of all the stuff that comes with it, the soundtrack to the game, a steelbook cover with like with like a little sound box with like some sounds from the game, a 120-page art book, and a 12-inch figurine of Sophidia.
Wow.
Anyway, well, Sophidia is not the fan service character. That would be Ivy, but I'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
SoulCalibur VI follows suit from the previous titles in gameplay. Nothing really special there other than the new reversal edge technique, which allows players to defend against oncoming attacks and strike back with extra slow motion. This is technically a reboot of the Soul series, revisiting events of the first...
We're all losing it.
Revisiting the events of the first SoulCalibur game to, and I quote, uncover hidden truths. More story elements, like in 2 and 3, are intended. There's more story elements, which is good, because SoulCalibur actually has a pretty rich story that they kind of stirred away from in 4 and 5. But, and it's intended to be more brighter and cheerful a little bit than the previous 2 titles, but like the first game. Let's get into the character roster. New characters include Gra, Aswell, and Geralt of Riva, or Rivia.
Right.
Who is a guest character like Spawn, Heihachi, and Link in SoulCalibur 2. Speaking of SoulCalibur 2, returning characters are Astaroth, Cervantes, Inferno, who wasn't playable without a cheating device. He's now actually playable.
That's actually kind of cool.
Ivy, a.k.a. Miss Big Tits McFan Service. Keelik.
Is she that girl from Rise, Son of Rome?
No.
No.
Oh my god. One of my friends in high school showed me that video, and I'm just like, how is she standing there, but her tits are just going like, boom, boom.
But anyway.
Sorry.
We have Keelik, Maxi, Mitsurugi, Nightmare, Raphael, Songmina, Sophidia, Taki, who is Miss Ninja Big Tits McFan Service, Talim, Valdo, that one weird French fuck that's super creepy and is probably a kink master, Zhonghua, and Yoshimitsu, who's technically from Tekken, See, I came up with that pun.
I randomly remember this thing I saw in a movie theater that there's something about it, like some Tekken thing being showed in theaters, and then it was this girl and her dad, and yes, they're African American, but I only say that because it's funny in the way that they said it. Was like, she's like, "Oh, I want to see that," and the dad's just like, "Damn, move his Dranamo fucking wallet." I just started laughing.
But hopefully Yoshimitsu has his pogo sword move like he does in 2. Please, Namco, please tell me you've carried this. And this game's actually, the devs have said, this is basically 20th anniversary celebration of the series, and releases on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on the 19th of September.
Nice. Wait, September?
October. Yes, that month.
I hope you didn't say October. I hope you didn't say October on the other things, but anyway.
I did say October on the other things.
All right, just making sure. But I do have to ask you a question. Is SoulCalibur 2 still your favorite SoulCalibur game?
It is my favorite SoulCalibur game. I grew up with it.
I mean, nothing will ever top that main menu theme, ever.
No.
The minute you...
SoulCalibur 4 takes the piss with Darth Vader and Yoda.
I thought that was Calibur 5.
No, that was 4.
Oh, okay.
5, I really didn't play much. I just heard it was more like 4, and I'm just like, that's kind of a turnoff.
Yeah, but hey, I mean,
damn.
I'm surprised they haven't. I'm surprised they haven't made a port for this game yet. I mean, they have, but they not for the current gen systems.
Because I have a friend of mine who has Type 1. 2? Nah. That's I think.
Are you talking about Diabeto?
Yeah, I think as far as I know, the difference is that 1 is hereditary, 2 is not.
Oh, well.
We'll move on past the diabetes. And yes, I think you might appreciate the reference in Far Cry 5 that I don't actually feed cheeseburger, the bear goes a hamburger.
So Krüz, do you like SoulCalibur? Yes or no?
I've known of the title for so long. Not for so long, but like for a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm probably way too out of touch with the story to really get into it.
I really hope you're not drinking on the stream.
Oh boy.
But he does that regularly.
Oh,
well, the thing is about SoulCalibur, it's like it's one of those games because they're already on the 6th one. It's like, well, it's at least it's not like Final Fantasy where I've played none of it, and I'm like, they're on 15 now, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
but and that doesn't even include all the side games.
Well, yeah, I mean, I normally discount those just for at least for the sake of getting to like, okay, what's important in the story, but and then again. To be fair, like I did pick up Far Cry 5 just because I'd never played a Far Cry game before.
Right.
Even when we announced when Zach was still here, Far Cry Primal, which I still actually kind of want to play. I didn't know the game mechanics at the time. I didn't know how the game actually played. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know if any YouTubers I watch would play this, though, but God, it's just I just feel like it bothers me, and I'm just like, ugh, I have nothing to say about this because I've never played the game before.
All right,
I just know vaguely of like it's one of those typical RPG game kind of things.
But anyway,
it's time to get spoopy.
SoulCalibur 2, I'm just gonna touch on this a little bit. SoulCalibur 2 was re-released on the 360 and PS3 as basically it's the HD re-release.
But not on the current gen systems.
Let me finish. You interrupted me. You interrupted me because it released like in mid 2013. So they weren't really intending for it to be on Xbox One, PS4. But So the the exclusive characters to each platform, it was Spawn on the Xbox, Heihachi on the PS2, and it was Link on the GameCube. Yeah, because it was
Nintendo.
On the GameCube. However, it was only re-released for the 360 and the PS3, and there was no sign of Link because with the re-releases, you not only get Spawn and Heihachi no matter what platform you're on, and that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But because Nintendo, being Nintendo, they didn't want to have Link on any other system other than a Nintendo console, so they were just like, you can re-release the game, we just can't, you're not going to put it on our console because Link's going to be on all the other consoles. And we need to remain exclusive, which is a bit shitty, but I understand why they did it, even though it's stupid.
Holy shit, the Browns won.
Yeah, the Browns won. I talked about this
Really?
earlier. You weren't listening.
You didn't know, and now you're bringing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, See, the thing is, people take this as me actually being angry, but I like to fake anger so that I don't actually get angry, much like Aaron from the Game Grumps. Yeah, they won. I was going to be content with a 9-9 tie, but no, because God hates me. Here's the thing. You are still in last. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Steelers are still in last place.
I still don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, but yeah, that's
basically what I'm saying is Pittsburgh sucks.
Okay. So but yeah, I hope SoulCalibur 2 hopefully will get another release, but who knows?
Probably not.
Probably not, but you never know.
But I'm going to send it over to movies real quick. I'll get everything set up, and then I have to go take a piss.
All right.
A little aside because of that, Kyle mentioned he got the diagnosis in 2011. Earlier that year, I had an allergy test, which is where they basically just poke your arm with samples of the allergen. And my sister is still upset that I say this with my remnants of my Baltimore accent. I say zample, not sample. So they poke your arm with that and see which parts swell up and which don't. That was when that earthquake hit in Monroe, Virginia. Mm-hmm. And so I was sitting against the wall, just my arm was itching, and I'm just holding my arm, I'm just like, and then the room starts shaking and just rocking back and forth, and the doctor just looks up. He doesn't react barely. He just looks at my arm and then just looks up and he's like, okay, either someone just hit the building with a very large truck or that was an earthquake. And we turn on the TV, it was an earthquake, and I'm like, fuck. Okay. In my head, I'm thinking, really? Now? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, hey, coach, you all got the Panthers. I mean, you guys are, it's just not bad. I mean, I'll say thank you for Steve Smith. I mean, he is great. And also, you'd better take care of the other guy, Torrey Smith. He's on the Panthers now. I don't know. If you're in Carolina, I like North Carolina.
Please, I still have to pay.
Yes, let's
still have to play.
Yeah, let's move on to movies. Anyway, movies. Our first movie that we do have to talk about, and I really am bothered that I have to talk about.
What do you mean you're bothered that you have to talk about it?
I don't really like Halloween, but hey, time to cash in on another Halloween horror franchise that has not yet been cashed enough. Yep, for those of you who don't know, the holiday Halloween is coming, but the film Halloween is upon us. Halloween is a 2018 American slasher film directed by David Gordon Green and written by Green, Jeff Bradley, and Danny McBride. It is the 11th installment in the Halloween franchise and a direct sequel to the 1978 film of the same name, while retconning the continuity of the previous sequels. Yay. Jamie Lee Curtis and Nick Castle reprised their roles from the old films, respectively, with stuntman James Jude Courtney also portraying Myers. The film also stars Judy Greer, Andy Matichak, Will Patton, and Virginia Gardner.
Real quick rebuttal to that. I will admit, and I did see summaries of this, that some of the sequels for Halloween after, from 3 onward were fucking awful.
Yeah.
But I do genuinely think that hopefully, if it's going in the direction I hope it's going in, that this movie will be more faithful to the original because, as you said, it does follow the original timeline because I think 4 through 6 followed a different timeline where some characters died off, and so they picked up on an original timeline after that in like H2O or whatever they called it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I'm going to say for that. I did really like Halloween, the original, because I saw that for a horror fiction class, and that was really good.
Yes. Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, in her iconic role 37 years after Halloween 2, comes to her final confrontation with Michael Myers, the masked figure who has haunted her since she narrowly escaped his killing spree on Halloween night 4 decades ago. By the way, just to point out, Jamie Lee Curtis is a badass. So yeah. just so you know, be sure to look her up. She's pretty cool. But that's besides the point. So a brief history on this film. After failing to develop a new Halloween film in time, Dimension Films, that is the studio that I believe is part of, I want to say it's part of Robert Rodriguez's studio, but I'm not too sure. You'll have to look that up yourself.
I'm not sure. I know that they
lost the production rights. Yeah.
I know that the rights went to Dimension after the third one, I think.
I want to say, yeah, and then they were later obtained by Blumhouse Productions, which
they're the ones making this one.
With original co-creator John Carpenter becoming involved as a composer, executive producer, and creative consultant.
That gives me hope.
John Carpenter, for those of you who don't know, I think we have Tucker.
Tucker! No.
Tucker.
Tucker, I love you, my brother, but shut the fuck up.
Yeah, brother. What do you want? I'll be right back.
Yeah, please do.
I'm just glad that, honestly, my dog would not... Well, this is not saying, like, my dog wouldn't. She absolutely would be, like, an asshole about it, but not in the time. Like, she would... If she gave up on me, she would just go to somebody else and be like... She normally goes to my mom first to be like, walk me, please, or I'll cry. Oh, damn. Yeah, metalworking. I've had the basement in our original house is like flooded 3 or 4 different times.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time was because of a lot of snow melting. And then twice because our air conditioner, one of the pipes on it, like, burst. And so just water just came out everywhere. Ah! Doggo! Yes, doggo. Google.
Let me continue with my spiel. Hopefully, Naka gets everything separated and yeah. Anyway, John Carpenter, for those of you who don't know, is one of the greatest horror filmmaker gods who's ever lived. From directing, producing, screenwriting, and composing, as well as a talented musician, he definitely brings a whole new level to the table to not only make us think that directors can not only be good, but they can be talented. And his specialty was definitely in his horror films. Yeah. It seems that...
I think I don't know what other films other than that he's made of, but I know The Thing was, that was the other big one.
It seems that no matter how good or bad his films were, he always seemed to bring something new to Hollywood to intimidate us. And the film that many believe to be his magnum opus was his 1978 film, Halloween. Not only was it a box office success, but it turned out to be the film that many people believe to have set the standard for modern horror films. Like films
sure
like...
It was also Jamie Lee Curtis's debut.
Yeah, it was.
And also, ironically, I think it was... One of the Hollywood films was also Paul Rudd's debut as well.
Films like A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. This was the film that perfected that. And while it may not have aged well in horror aesthetics, it still paved the way on what horror should be about, as opposed to how other people should think it should be about. It would later get many sequels, which did not end up surpassing the original in any way whatsoever. But seeing how it's been a while since a sequel as well as a reboot, one can only hope that something good happened, right? Unfortunately, I have to bring up yet again that I have not seen any Halloween film whatsoever, never knew about Michael Myers unless people talked about it, and sadly just don't know much about it. However, I can tell you that the film has been getting mad praise after a lot of sequels that really did not get any. So at least there's that, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was the film in many respects people will come to go see. This film releases not on Halloween, but close to it on October 19th. Naka, what do you have to say?
Yeah.
Krüz, what do you have to say?
I guess, well, I have a little more background on Halloween because, as I mentioned, I took a horror fiction class, which is an English class, which,
yeah,
damn it,
I'm just gonna silence the stream because I don't know what's going on.
No, I'm gonna mute my mic because my dog.
Yeah, you just go ahead and do that.
What is going on, Naka? What's going on?
He's just being a little attention whore.
Yeah, well, doggos will be doggos.
I don't want to. I mean, is there a way that you can make him that you can put him outside or something?
Is there a way that you can make him not?
Well, he just left the room, so.
Well, shit, that was easy.
He just came back out.
Yeah, he always does that.
It's like, well, shit, that was easy. I did see the original Halloween because we watched that in our horror fiction class, which was a very interesting class. And being a huge fan of Edgar Allan Poe, not only because of me being from Baltimore, but also because the first Poe story I read was Cask of Armadillo something or other, and where the guy gets sealed in the wall, and it freaked me the fuck out. But my favorite story is Telltale Heart, which is about the guy who kills the guy he's living with and hides him under the floorboards, but then goes insane and confesses.
Edgar Allan Poe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we talked about Poe, Lovecraft, Dracula, Bram Stoker, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and then some films like Halloween was one of them.
Yeah.
And Eyes Without a Face, which is a French horror film. And I think there was one other one that I forgot. But Halloween, I think, nowadays you can look back on it and see like, oh yeah, you can see that coming. But that's because that was the film that really set the tone for all those slasher films in perspective, the use of perspective in those movies.
Yeah. Naka, not Krüz. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Out.
Yeah, Naka, what's going on?
My dog got a toy.
He got a toy. Fuck.
What's going on, Naka?
He brought a toy. He's playing with it.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So what do you have to say regarding Halloween? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. It's just I'm kind of flustered at this point. We've been going for 2 hours. I really kind of want to finish this up.
We got it.
All right, then don't take so goddamn long.
Yes.
I think that
this one's gonna be on you because you have 4.5 pages of shit.
Yeah.
I think that this one should be a better one. I mean, it doesn't have much. It doesn't have much competition because the other Halloween sequels were pretty bad. But I think that they should do a good job with this one because
give me a moment.
Updated everything in regards to filmmaking, and it follows the original timeline, and Jamie Lee Curtis goes back to her roots with the Halloween franchise, and for the movie's sake, I hope it's good. And then also, because I want to see a good movie, because the slasher genre has kind of died off a little bit.
Yeah.
Or quite a lot of it, but a revival of that can't hurt. Even if it doesn't do well, it just by virtue of if it doesn't do well just by itself, at the very least, I think it would be a more faithful sequel than some of the others.
Goddamn long enough.
Goddamn long.
So my sister is going to go take him for a walk, so he'll hopefully calm down.
Thank Christ, because I was just like, damn.
Yeah, you're just like, oh my god, I want to get through this. But my thoughts on
needy bitch.
My thoughts on this is like it's kind of reminds me of It a little bit. How it's basically they're just going back and remembering. It's like, oh, this is the original events, but they're going through new events as well.
Right. Yeah.
The original one, the one that was in 1990. They had a bunch of
spin-offs too.
You mean 1978?
I thought it was 1990 when that.
No, 78.
That was 78.
78 was the first one. I think 90 was. Which one was 90?
No, I think that 78 probably was when the book came out. I'm thinking of the miniseries.
Mini series of
about It, not Halloween.
Tim Curry.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Halloween. Sorry about that.
But
Anyway.
I'm kind of using It as the, it's like how in the miniseries of It that came out in 1990,
which is not so good.
Because Tim Curry, it's like, well, we're supposed to be scared. It's like, well, I'm funny. It's like, well, you're not supposed to be funny. We're friggin' clowns. But how it kind of reminds me of that is that Laura Strode is basically, she's reminiscing about what happened on that fateful night 37 years ago. Well, not 27, but, you get the point.
Right.
But, and then experiencing the events basically again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I'm looking, that's how I'm seeing this movie. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying that in a good way, and I hope it does well.
Yeah, same here. All right. Now that we got squared away, can we move on?
More Halloween!
Yes, and keep it short, because if you want to get through this, I will shut my mouth and not speak for the rest of the show.
Well,
you're
it's
the
time
one that wants to hurry up, not me, so go.
Let's just say I kind of got flustered because a lot of things were happening at once, and I thought we were losing the audience. But anyway, it's time to move from actual scary Halloween to Halloween made to be funny but trying a bit too hard. Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween is an upcoming American horror comedy film directed by Ari Sandel and written by Rob Liber. It is based on the children's book series of the same name by R.L. Stine and is a standalone sequel to the 2015 film Goosebumps. The film will stars Wendy McClendon Covey, Madison Eisman, Jeremy Rand Taylor, Khalil Harris, Chris Parnell, and Ken Jeong, while Jack Black will be reprising his role as Stein from the previous film. Unlike the previous motion picture, Village Roadshow Pictures is not involved with this film. It's just and I just pointed that out there because it's just a production.
I don't know if I saw the last movie, but I just remember the TV show because someone tweeted about it today.
Yeah.
Woof, woof, woof.
Yes. Continuing where it left off from the first film, in the small town of Wardenclyffe on Halloween night, two boys named Sonny, played by Jeremy Ray Taylor, who played Ben in the reboot of Stephen King's It, and Sam, played by Khalil Harris, find a manuscript in an abandoned house that was previously owned by R.L. Stine, played by Jack Black, called Haunted Halloween. When they open it, they release Slappy, a dummy who plans to create the Halloween apocalypse with the help of the Halloween monster allies.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Now Sonny and Sam, along with Sonny's sister Sarah and Stein himself, must work to thwart Slappy's plot before all is lost. I actually have seen the first film of Goosebumps. It's honestly an okay picture, but I wouldn't go far to say it's something that I went out of my way praising for other people to see. And for those of you who are asking if I read any of the books or seen its TV series, the answer to that question is yes, but I remember very little of it, and its design is very 90s, I should say, resulting in a lot of cheesy 90s tropes. But
yeah,
it's there, and the film is here too.
It thrives off this cheesiness, though. I remember me being in first grade and being like, people were like, "Oh, Goosebumps are like the older kids' books," and then I read Goosebumps, and it's either the endings are really kind of sad or kind of really weird. But I do recognize a lot of the references they have in this books, like Snowman of Pasadena and the Shocker on Shock Street.
Right.
The dummy, of course, Slappy, which if you realize what he does to people, it's kind of weird because apparently what he does is he kills people by sticking his hand down their throat and choking them.
Not something that I go out of my way to see, but I'm glad that Stein has been making it prevalent in a lot of younger readers' minds. The film releases not on Halloween, but on October 12th if you're interested. And guys, what do you have to say regarding Goosebumps in this movie? And yeah, Naka? Meh. Just meh?
Another Halloween movie for kids. I'll be honest, I'm not really into Halloween anymore. I've just kind of gone out of it.
Did you read any of the
I read a couple of
the books?
I read some of the books when I was a kid. I liked them at the time, but I'm just like, eh.
I feel like the appeal of it is unfortunately worn off. But the TV show and the books were good. But I don't know, even with Jack Black, I don't know if that will be enough to keep it, in relative relevance.
And for the record, for those of you who think that I'm going to be watching Goosebumps 2 just because there's a werewolf in it, no. It's not happening. I'm not doing it that way. It's just not happening. That's not what I
Are you trying to say that you're not very trash like the rest of us?
I mean,
think you're better than us?
No. Not at all. It's not that I think that. It's just I don't really see movies for werewolves just for that. I kind of need to see more than that.
The werewolf one, if it's the one I think it's referring to, was pretty interesting because that was the one where the guy, his dad is a deer. I don't know if it's a deer hunter, but they have like a corral of like, or like a little pen of like deers in their backyard. And there's the dog that shows up at their house who is, semi-domesticated. But then the kid gets sick. But then he realizes that what he's sick with is,
Anyway.
him becoming a werewolf. And then that's the kind of twist of the book. But I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, do you want me to move on to the next one?
Hi, Urbana. Urbana. There's a city called Urbana in Maryland. Fuck off.
Dude, yay, we're going to go fight about it. We're going to go fight each other.
We're going to fight about politics.
And it's politics. Yay. Fuck.
I love this film. I love how this film takes place during Thanksgiving, but it's still a month and a half away. You know what this film needs? Politics and lots of it.
It's so self-aware that it knows. It's a perfect satire for this time that everyone knows that it's more so politics. It's more so Thanksgiving than Christmas, where political discussion. Jeez, I'm a poli-sci minor. Fuck me.
In all seriousness, The Oath is a 2018 American. In all seriousness, The Oath is a 2018 American dark comedy film written and directed by Ike Barinholtz. The film stars Barinholtz, Tiffany Haddish, John Cho, Carrie Brownstein, Billy Magnuson, Meredith Hagner, John Barinholtz, Nora Dunn, and Chris Ellis. In a politically divided America, gee, I wonder why, a man struggles to make it through the Thanksgiving holiday without destroying his family, but things turn to a head when Americans are required to sign the Patriot's Oath to the government by the day after Thanksgiving. The family hosts a Thanksgiving dinner in which political discussion among the family about the Patriot's Oath explodes into violence. Okay, so we're going to pretend in the film that politics exist. Now, before you guess, I'm gonna say this right now. From an entertainment standpoint, politics are something in real life that we all like to avoid during family gatherings. No matter how deep and meaningful family is, and no matter how much fun we have, something is bound to go wrong. Surprisingly, this film has been getting above average reviews, but it really wasn't in my list of things that I really wanted to see. But if it ends up being actually better than I thought it was, then I might go see it. And if you're interested, the film releases not on Thanksgiving, but on October 12th. So what do you have to say regarding this?
I guess,
Naka?
What if something in real life happens and I'm just going to point to this movie and I'm just going to go, good.
Good. Okay. Check mark. Yay.
Good.
No, but really.
No, let's just throw real politics out of the window and just say that this Patriot's Oath actually turns out to just be a total invasion of privacy that everybody is now forced to sign, and how, it's going to benefit the safety of America. And it's like, no, I thought this was America. I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
This is America. I have to make this joke, but people are like, Trump's raping us through social media. You got an alert, which you can turn off on your phone, by the way, dumbass.
Oh, well.
What?
Anyway,
this is a good. Yeah. Okay. This is a good satire on the aspect that people, Black Friday, that people like. They generally want to avoid politics because they know it'll lead to discussions that are less than friendly. And this, in satire fashion, takes that to its extreme, to which, signing of the oath or not signing of the oath would mean that people are like actually ready to be at each other's throats, more so than just difference of political opinion, but more so of like people are like, oh, you're endangering our country because you don't support whatever the fuck. don't remember the actor's name. Was it
Barinholtz?
Barinholtz, yeah. I've seen him in a few things, but I've not seen him in a lead role.
He was in Blockers.
Yeah. I didn't see that movie though, but I would have because of John Cena. But yeah, I think this is a good film for people to see because it at least will make light of the situation that most families, I guess, tend to deal with Thanksgiving and political discussion and like trying to avoid that, but it might inevitably happen. And then, it kind of plays on also the Trump factor where, that name, the president, inevitably comes up in some discussion at some point. Mm-hmm. And of course, people have varying opinions about it. And that leads into a whole thing.
Yeah.
If nothing else, it looks funny just because it's you laugh at it because people get, you've probably been in a situation where if it wasn't you, it was your parents who were getting, in a heated discussion about politics, which I've been witness to, but I think it should be pretty funny. And it's R-rated, so they have freedom to work with.
Yeah, I agree to that. Is there anything you want to say regarding this?
No, it's great satire. It's actually
Naka. You totally forgot. Hello.
Good morning,
Krüz.
Yes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. I completely forgot to change the slide because I got too concerned about politics.
Yes.
But now that I actually have the main stage and I can actually talk about this a little more, real life politics, it's just a fucking shit show and a half.
You totally forgot to change the
Trust me, we've had a lot
Yes, I
worse
know.
than this.
Yes, I
Oh
know.
my god,
I'm
it's
sorry.
almost like they might notice.
I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
They are
now
respectable.
Can we fucking
people.
move on?
Yes.
And let me talk about this thing for real this time.
All right, go.
I know you're flustered. It's okay. I've been in your shoes before, but
that's not the slide.
Oh, it's a different.
Really? Did you?
Yeah.
Hold on.
No. The slides are all mixed up.
Krüz.
I did it right.
I think.
No, you didn't.
Fuck me.
You mislabeled them, so.
Yeah.
Let's just say everybody's fault.
Yeah.
Everybody's fault, okay? Because this actually is, satire, I don't think they're actually going to bring in real politics, because I swear to God, if they do, I am quite literally just going to go walk out of the theater, because I probably will actually go see this, just because I love satirical films like this.
Yeah.
Films that kind of take the piss, that are, supposed to be over the top and shit like that.
Yeah.
But if they start bringing, real politics, and they, name drop the president and the current, presidency and that whole thing, I'm just going to be like, nope, I wasted my money.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Because
yes. Anyway,
just yeah.
Yeah, I guess Krüz got the slide wrong, but I guess we can say it's all our fault.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but in all honesty, I'm actually, it's like it turns out that the Patriots turns out to just be, it's like, women can walk around buck naked, but men have to wear these straight jackets and everything. But it's like it's just some weird crazy bullshit that goes on. That's the kind of stuff that I kind of want to see.
It's also a football team that every sensible person hates.
Anyway,
but yeah, it's actually pretty interesting, and I do want to go see it. So I probably will. I'll probably try and find time for it because I'm a busy person.
Yes, I totally agree to that. So
now let me go back, and it's somewhat out of order to this one. Yes, let's go to wildlife.
Wildlife. Well, that's enough for holidays for one night. Let's get into the actual artistic stuff. Wildlife is a 2018 American drama film directed by Paul Dano and co-written by Dano and Zoe Kazan. It is based on the novel of the same name by Richard Ford, first published in 1990. The film stars Carey Mulligan, Jake Gyllenhaal, Ed Oxenbould, and Bill Camp. It is Dano's directorial debut. The film had its premiere at the Sundance Film Festival on January 20th, 2018. Elegantly adapted from Richard Ford's novel of the same name, Carey Mulligan delivers one of her finest performances to date as Jeanette, a complex woman whose self-determination and self-involvement disrupts the values and expectations of a 1960s nuclear family. 14-year-old Joe, played by newcomer X Oxenbould, is the only child of Jeanette and Jerry, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, a housewife and a golf pro, in a small town in 1960s Montana. Nearby, an uncontrolled forest fire rages close to the Canadian border, and when Jerry loses his job and his sense of purpose, he decides to join the cause of fighting the fire, leaving his wife and son to fend for themselves. Suddenly forced into the role of an adult, Joe witnesses his mother's struggle as she tries to keep her head above water. With precise details and textures of its specific time and place, the film commits to the viewpoint of a teenage boy observing the gradual dissolution of his parents' marriage. As sad as it sounds, the film has been getting mad praise in a lot of film festivals, and I can only hope it does here. The look and tone of the movie is very cold, but very warm at the same time. And the mise-en-scène and the cinematography is just fantastic. Of course, I've seen other films that are much like this, so I'm not too sure how well it'll do. But at the same time, I can safely say that it did very well. As Paul Dana's directorial debut, the guy who played excellent roles in 12 Years a Slave, Prisoners, and Love and Mercy, I think it's pretty cool that he's...
Which person was he in 12 Years a Slave? Because
Hold on. And I can only hope that this film does well. The film does release on October 19th, but be sure to check if the film in your area before going to the theater. It has a limited release for the time being before it gets a wide release. Paul Dano, he was one of these slave owners in 12 Years a Slave that was not played by Benedict Cumberbatch. That's really all I can say, and I can't really go much into detail regarding that. That's the best way that I can describe him. But anyway, what do you have to say regarding this film, Naka?
Paul Dano. Oh, okay.
Well,
I thought you said Zano. Sorry.
My dad was, well, I haven't really gone with, like, a marriage in shambles story, but, I have family that has lived in Montana for years and years and years and years. His siblings were born in the 50s and they grew up in the 60s. So there's a lot of just elements that I could sort of connect to in this time that kind of brings me interested into this movie. Like 1960s Montana, it probably doesn't disclose where in Montana, but it's closer north, I assume.
Right. Hope County, Montana.
Well, there's that. And the fact that it's, that life was very, very different in the 60s that compared to it is now. A marriage in shambles didn't, there wasn't, cell phones, you couldn't just go find, you'd have to mail each other Polaroids, whatever. But it's, just for the different time and just for the story purpose, I will see if it is playing at a local theater, and then I'll probably go check it out again if I have time because I'm a busy person.
Right. And as for you, Krüz?
I feel like there are a few films that fall into this niche, and I feel like this is one of them that my parents might want to watch, and I might watch with them. I mean, fall break is coming up, so there's the possibility of that happening. I don't know if that's going to happen, if it would be on demand at that time, but I do think the actors are actor and actresses, the lead actor and actress are very good in their own right. But as for myself, I don't see as much reason to see that for myself. I do think it is it could be very valuable to other people. But for me, I mean, I would probably see it if I see it with other people.
Okay.
But it might not just be me, but I do like the people involved. I think it looks like it should be a good representation of like a biopic of life kind of thing, or whatever. Right. However you say that.
Okay.
I will say something that
does
tie me and probably Shutterwolf into the movie a little bit more is the fact that the Pacific Northwest has been ravaged by wildfires the past few years. So it's a little bit more, we have a little bit more of a connection to that just because wildfires are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them, wildfires that can be contained that are, naturally caused that, are containable. That's one thing. But when people set off wildfires unintentionally, but, they set off wildfires and cause way more damage than they thought they might have, that they thought, wasn't even possible, that's when it gets bad. And that's when they're just like, can you ever forgive me? And then that's when I say no, but you can forgive me for fucking up the slides. Ha ha ha, great transition. Yes.
So that's why our professors don't want us plagiarizing.
Segway.
Now I get it. But in all seriousness, Can You Ever Forgive Me is a 2018 American biographical comedy drama film directed by Mariel Heller and with a screenplay by Nicole I don't know. I might have butchered the name or misspelt it, but I'll just continue reading. And Jeff Whitty, based on Lee Israel's memoir of the same name. It stars Melissa McCarthy and Richard E. Grant. Based on the real-life true story of the best-selling celebrity biographer and friends to cats, Lee Israel, played by Melissa McCarthy, made her living in the 1970s and 80s, profiling the likes of Katharine Hepburn, Tallulah Bankhead, S.E.T. Lauder, and journalist Dorothy Kilgallen. When Lee is no longer able to get published because she has fallen out of steps with current tastes, she turns her art form to deception, abetted by her loyal friend Jack, forging and plagiarizing other works from other deceased authors and playwrights, and submitting them as her own for her collection for profit. I should mention the film is directed by Mariel Heller, the director of films such as The Diary of a Teenage Girl and the TV series Transparent. She'll also be directing You Are My Friend, a film that is based off the life of Fred Rogers starring Tom Hanks, but that'll be another story for another day. One thing I really like about this film is the lighting. The way it tries to imitate warm and cold colors based on locations. I also love that you see Melissa McCarthy in an actual serious role.
That's what I was saying.
And I can only hope she does more stuff like this in the future.
Take her seriously now.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a film that I really wanted to see, and I can only hope that it does well since it's been getting really good reviews. Just goes to show you, as much as you can try to pretend to be someone else, someone will always see you for who you really are. That being said, the film releases October 19th. Guys, what do you have to say regarding this one?
Just don't fucking plagiarize and steal. Just don't do it.
No, but really.
But it's definitely
that's a given.
This is it's a very interesting story that it's based off true events. So,
right.
it kind of sort of actually did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because this is more of a serious tone and Melissa McCarthy's, more of a comedian, it's definitely a change of pace for her.
Still funnier than Amy Schumer. What?
Yes. But, I hope she does well, and I hope this film actually does really well.
And as for you, Krüz, what do you have to say?
Yeah, like Naka, I am more used to seeing her in comedy roles. But I think that if people like me are able to look past her comedian tendency, it's kind of like Steve Carell in I forget what the name of the movie is, but he's like this depressed author or something. You might know the name, but he takes the role seriously and is not trying to be funny about it.
Right.
Sometimes it's hard to tell when you're an actor who tends to be known for their roles in comedy movies, but hopefully this is something that does expand her repertoire, and it looks like it should be a genuinely good film. Again, there are a few films I go out for theaters for just so I can those are mostly so I can get them out of the way. Sometimes they're hype films like Infinity War, which I went to theaters to see. I went to theaters to see the last few films I went to theaters to see were It, Black Panther, Infinity War, and then there's some other one. But yeah, Metallica. But but hopefully Melissa McCarthy will not end up among the unforgiven.
But anyway, that's all I have to say for Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Who are you unforgiven to?
Can you ever forgive me for accidentally messing up the stupid slides?
Yes.
Well, they're not stupid, but I don't want to hear about it after the show, please. You've been going for a while. Let's just go.
Beautiful Boy. Wow, this film looks fantastic. I'm at a loss for words. Beautiful Boy is a 2018 American biographical drama film directed by Felix van Groningen in his English language feature debut. The screenplay, written by Luke Davies and Van Groningen, is based on the memoirs Beautiful Boy, A Father's Journey Through His Son's Addiction by David Sheff, and Tweak, Growing Up on Methamphetamines by Nick Sheff. It stars Steve Carell, Timothy Chalamet, Maura Tierney, and Amy Ryan. Beautiful Boy had its world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 7th, 2018. The film received generally positive reviews from critics who lauded the performances of Carell, Chalamet, and Tierney. Based on the best-selling pairs of memoirs from father and son David and Nick Sheff, Beautiful Boy chronicles the heartbreaking and inspiring experiences of survival, relapse, and recovery in a family coping with addiction over many years. Granted, this movie may not sound like much, but once you have watched the trailer, holy shit, this is definitely a film that I want to see. A-list actors all around, and the cinematography and the way the film looks, just absolutely phenomenal and fantastic. I know I haven't said much considering I've said a lot for the other films, but I promise you, this trailer looks gorgeous, and I can only hope that you give the film a watch if it enters your area. The film releases theatrically on October 12th. And honestly, guys, this is probably just wow. I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed this trailer. What do you have to say regarding this one?
I can't connect to the story.
Really?
Because I never really have gone through this.
Of course.
And, you know...
But do you at least like the way it's shot?
Yes. I'll give it points for cinematography, and I'm not wishing like, oh, this film just sucks, I don't connect to the story. But
yeah,
I never wish that upon creators. Because this is this could be somebody's swan song. This could be somebody's debut.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I want this film to succeed for what it is. I just don't connect to it, and that's why I wouldn't go see it.
Okay, and what do you have to say regarding this film, Krüz?
Yeah, again, I personally haven't dealt with drug abuse. I mean, I haven't ever dabbled in hard drugs. I mean, thankfully for that. But a cousin of mine who was formerly estranged, who I got to meet, she had been in a very, very bad place. Unfortunately, due to her drug addiction, but she has since recovered. It has permanently physically scarred her, but she has recovered very well, all things considered. And I think that if nothing else, if you just see it as because sometimes there are kids who turn to drugs to solve their problems, and that's just a fact of life at this point. And I think this is a good way to highlight that in a way that Steve Carell, in a serious role, which Steve Carell is one of those actors who does a good job of transcending comedy in that he can do a serious role. I still forget the other name of the movie, but that was kind of like a not dumb, but dark comedy, not dark comedy even, but it was just kind of like.
What film was it again? What was it about?
It was Steve Carell, and he was trying to find love or something.
The 40-year-old version?
No, not that one.
Oh, well.
It was, I don't know. But I do think this will reach its target audience of it, just even if people haven't been touched by this issue, that it does shed light on it, because there's because there was a lot of issues between my cousin I mentioned and her parents, that there were some threats involved. But at the end of the day, you realize that it's important to forgive those people. I hopefully that film really does cover that, but I don't know if I'm going to go out to see it. But I do think that that's one film that my parents will enjoy, if nothing else. So I'm at a little aside there.
All right. Well, do you want me to move on to our next movie?
Might as well be called The Losers Club.
Not really.
The Token Troop. The Token Club.
Not really, but a coming of age kid story. These seem always fun. Mid-90s is a 2018 American coming of age comedy drama film written and directed by Jonah Hill in his feature directorial debut. It stars Sonny Suljic, Lucas Hedges, and Catherine Watterson. It had its world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 9th, 2018 as well. This movie follows a teenager named Stevie growing up in Los Angeles. He's struggling with his family, including his codependent single mom and his abusive older brother, and at school where his richer friends seem to overlook him. When Stevie befriends a crew of skateboarders, he learns some tough lessons about class, race, and privilege. In my opinion, this is a very good example on what it's like to grow up without much and using your wits about you to not only have fun, but to also take the hardships of life, go through with them, and learn from the experience on what the right thing and the wrong thing is. Jonah Hill is a great actor who I personally respect, and I think his expertise in using analog to shoot his film will do great. There is, however, one thing I must ask. The main character in this film is Stevie, so I'm wondering if Jonah is using that character to reference Steven Hernandez, a popular YouTube skateboarder who went through tough times in his life to get famous. However, no word has been on this, so I don't know if it's true or not, and if it is, that's pretty cool. The film will release on October 19th, however, I'm also wondering if the film will have a limited release before an actual theatrical release. So be sure to check online if the film is playing in your area as the closest theater you can find possible. What do you have to say regarding this movie, guys?
I mean,
it looks really nice.
It does look really nice. I don't really, I also kind of shared a similar coming-of-age story just because I bounced around a lot, lived in a lot of different places, went to a lot of different schools, and, lived in other countries.
Right.
And, that and being just, I can, part of me wants to see it because, there's a skateboarding element and I'm shit at skateboarding, but part of me also wants to see it just because I want to see somebody else's take on, a coming-of-age story.
Right.
And, that's what intrigues me about it, so...
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
Okay,
and
finally, that bothered me. I found the name. Dan in Real Life. That was the movie I was thinking of.
Oh, God. As long as it's not Dan the Mean Man.
Damn, Daniel.
Hi, I'm Dan the Mean Man. You only live once, so eat ass, smoke grass, and
I
slug
love
fast.
He's a goddamn hero.
Go down that escalator.
He's the hero we don't deserve.
Go,
Sled
Dan,
gang,
go,
sled
Dan,
gang,
sled gang, sled gang.
You really like that. You really like that video, didn't you?
Such an
that meme.
He's
just
such
a
an
goddamn legend.
unorthodox video. That's what makes it so good.
I know, right?
Hi, I'm Dan the Mean Man.
Just eat ass, and fucking whatever the fuck.
No, it's kick names, take ass.
Yeah, we're here to kick names and take ass.
Yeah. Anyway,
about this movie, now it just reminded me a little bit of. I mean, it's not as in-depth, but it did remind me a little bit of, as far as coming-of-age stories go, of Boyhood. But this one is a little more specific, because I did really enjoy Boyhood. It was a really good movie. I did see it with my parents. It did bring up a little bit of discussion about, parents' roles and growing up and all that stuff, which I think was what it was intended to do, at least at some part. But I think that this film avoids being that kind of, it's a heartwarming kid story kind of fucking bullshit. It avoids being that and actually, delves into the darker side of it, of a kid who has to deal with his older brother, kind of being, an asshole, and also kind of just having to, more so than having to pick between factions of friends, you have your after school friends, the skater punk kids and what have you. But I think I'm really hoping and thinking that this one will do well, and I'm definitely going to want to see this, if not in theaters.
Yeah, I do agree on that.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, do you want me to move on to our next
Royale?
To our next film?
Oh yeah, in the summer of '69.
We all had a band and we tried real hard.
But yeah, let's move on to our next film, which is Bad Times at the El Royale. Man, talk about a movie that has gotten a lot of people's attention, and it looks like it can't even disappoint. Bad Times at the El Royale is a 2018 American neo-noir mystery thriller film written and directed by Drew Goddard. The film stars Jeff Bridges, Cynthia Erivo, Dakota Johnson, John Hamm, Kaylee Spaney, Lewis Pullman, Nick Offerman, and Chris Hemsworth. It premiered at Fantastic Fest September 27th and received warm reviews. Set in 1969, the film follows 7 strangers who find themselves at the El Royale, a novelty hotel at the border of California and Nevada. But as the strangers, including a priest, a vacuum cleaner salesman, a southern gangster, and a former singer, settle into their rooms, they discover that something strange is afoot inside and outside the hotel. Over the course of one fateful night, everyone will have a last shot at redemption before everything goes to hell. Drew Goddard has been known for writing a good decent amount of movies like The Cabin in the Woods, which he also directed, World War Z, and The Martian. He was also responsible for writing some episodes in a lot of TV series such as Buffy, Lost, and Daredevil. So my hopes are kind of high with this one. I'm not too sure how well it'll do, but at the same time, when you have a lot of actors who are known to be in a lot of work that you like, why would this not be good? It looks very interesting, and I kind of would like to know what the whole premise of splitting a hotel down the border of California and Nevada is all about. It's an interesting premise for one, yes. And I kind of am wondering how the film is going to play out. The film, of course, releases on October 12th. What do you have to say regarding this film, Naka?
Its cast, its story, the way that it's just trying to play out, it all seems like it's really good. I want to go see it. My parents want to go see it. My family members want to go see it. So we all want to go see this movie.
Really? And what is drawing you, other than your parents' influences, to go see this movie exactly?
I literally just said why. Because I also want to go see it on my own. And then once my parents saw the trailers, once it became closer to release, because we talked about this earlier this season, or this part season.
It did come up, but before the trailer got, popular, or might have gained prominence.
And hold on, I'm gonna put the dog in the other room again, real quick. But go continue.
But what do you have to say regarding this movie, Krüz?
I really like the premise of this. I think it's, of course, I mean, I'm not expecting a film of this style, but it vaguely reminds me of The Hateful Eight in the way that it's all in one setting. It's not like a Tarantino structured movie,
right?
But has that, all these guys come into one setting and they have to, do whatever. But I think the cast looks great. The story looks good. I'm hoping that, if it's as good as it looks like, then I think they did a damn good job of not revealing too much in the trailer.
Yeah.
Also vaguely reminds me of a song, I think it was Room 24 by Volbeat.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like, because they're leaning on Wild West themed heavy metal when, being a Danish metal band. So
right.
All right, what have I missed?
We were just talking about the movie.
Yeah, but I think this should be a good one. I'm definitely going to want to see it at some point because it might not be one I see in theaters, but I'm definitely, given the timing it's coming out, it'll be fall break, so probably this might be one of the more, consensus films I'd see with my family. So, if nothing else, but I do think it looks promising.
All right. Well, do you want me to move on to our final trailer of the night? Well, our final visual.
Yes.
Trailer. All right.
Even the man in the moon disappeared somewhere in the stratosphere.
Well, it's time to look at a film that has not only been a complete shift in genre from a filmmaker's comfort, but one that has also been subjected to slight controversy as well. First Man.
The moon landing was faked. I have proof.
First Man is a 2018 American biographical drama film directed by Damien Chazelle and written by Josh Singer, based on the book First Man, The Life of Neil A. Armstrong by James R. Hansen. and Steven Spielberg serving as an executive producer. The film stars Ryan Gosling as Neil Armstrong alongside Claire Foy, Jason Clarke, Kyle Chandler, Corey Stoll, Ciaran Hinds, Christopher Abbott, Patrick Fugit, and Lucas Haas. First Man had its world premiere at the Venice International Film Festival on August 29th, 2018.
Question: Who is
Yes?
Michael Collins in this film?
I don't know. The film tells the riveting story behind the First Man mission to the moon, focusing on Neil Armstrong and the decade leading to the historic Apollo 11 flight. A visceral and intimate account told from Armstrong's perspective based on the book by James R. Hansen, the film explores the triumphs and the cost on Armstrong, his family, his colleagues, and the nation itself of one of the most dangerous missions in history. First off, I'd like to point out that the director of the film is Damien Chazelle, and for those of you who recognize his name, because we of S.E.T, of course, do, is that he was known for directing both the critically acclaimed Whiplash and the outstanding work of La La Land that won a lot of Oscars, which heightened his career even further.
Might explain why he has Gosling on there. You have that director-actor link.
I must also point out that this film is a definite departure from Damien Chazelle's previous works, being that his past films usually have centered on a film with jazz elements attached to them, which are very prevalent in his previous works that he himself directed. So this is definitely something that will challenge not only his expectations, but our own as well. The film received critical acclaim with praise for Gosling and Foy's performances, the cinematography, Justin Hurwitz's score, and Chazelle's direction. Of course, I do have to bring up the controversy that surrounds the film as well. For those of you that don't know, it was reported that the film would not include a scene of Armstrong and Aldrin planting the American flag on the moon. Damien responded with, "I showed the American flag standing on the lunar surface, but the flag being physically planted into the surface is one of the several moments that I choose not to focus upon." To address the question of whether this was a political statement, the answer is no. My goal with this movie was to share with audiences the unseen, unknown aspects of Americans' mission to the moon. The Armstrong's family also released a statement saying, "We do not feel this movie is anti-American in the slightest, quite the opposite, but don't take our word for it. We'd encourage everyone to see this remarkable film and see for themselves." Now, given this information, I do have to point out that I personally don't mind the scene with the flag on the moon not being in the picture.
I think that's just an image people have of it. Like, people, even if they haven't seen like the actual footage, it's just like, yeah, people know that they did that. And I think that it's not so much that you should focus on, oh, we didn't include this, as much as we chose to include things that were not as highlighted. I don't know. That's just me, being the history nerd I am.
And I will have to, and then to quote Thor Ragnarok, by substituting Asgard for America, America is not a place, it's a people. And I can only hope that with this film, it'll be one small step for the director and one giant leap for the audience. The film will release on October 12th as well. Is there anything you want to say, Naka, regarding this picture?
People, honestly, I don't think a lot of people understand how hard it is to go into space. You know, now that we have all this technology, but this was back in the 60s.
Yeah, this was at the height of the Cold War, mind you.
This was the middle of the Cold War.
It was really hard.
We were about to nuke each other.
The Soviets had already launched Sputnik, so this was our time to shine.
They were the first to space, but we were the first to the moon.
Yeah. We got it first! Yeah. God. I don't want to overshadow anything, but like, I think that if nothing else, the visuals of this film look really fucking good. Because I think the trailer focused on the launch sequence and like all the rattling ship. I mean, yeah, you can always do that with a camera and just shake it and just go blah 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 blah. But and then the trailer also included like the moment like you step out on the moon and it's just dead silent. That is creepy and also very fucking cool. So I think that I'm hoping that this film will be, if nothing else, very visually entertaining. But I also think that given how the director feels about it and the Armstrong family feels about it, that it'll highlight more of the the aspects of the moon landing that were not as focused upon, because I mean the American flag is always the thing. Yeah, America got here first. Yeah, that's a whole thing. But the actual experience of the astronauts, and I mean, I think the first space movie I really watched was at a friend's house, and I watched Apollo 13, which actually scared me a little bit. That was the one with Tom Hanks and oh god, I forgot the other actor. Kevin Bacon, wasn't it, right? Yeah, it was was he in it? God, now I have to look it up now.
But yeah,
Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, Kevin Bacon. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was that. But I'm hoping it will be more of like that, where it's more about the experience more so than any political significance, because that tends to mar films down into being like people who are against it will not like the film, if people are for it will like the film, and that takes away from if the film is actually good or not.
Right.
So I think this film strategically avoids that, which I think is a good thing.
Yes. And your opinion on Damien Chazelle, would you say that you are excited for this work to take him out of his comfort zone?
Well, with his track record of movies, I'm assuming that, he actually worked, I'm not assuming that he's...
I hope he knows what he's doing, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. I hope he knows what he's doing, and I hope it really succeeds for him, like his previous films.
Yes, I agree. But that's really all I have to say regarding the First Man. But that's it. That's for movies coming out. Do you want to move on to our coming attractions?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. And this is coming after I saw a film in another class called W by I forget the director's name, but I think you'd probably know him.
Michael Moore.
Mm-hmm.
No, Michael Moore's a sack of shit.
Anyway,
we're talking about Vice President Mike Pence.
Yes.
Coming
attractions.
Oliver Stone was the director.
Let's get to our coming attractions.
We're talking about Mike Pence.
Oh,
Mike Penis.
Vice, a politician through conviction and cunning ideals, tries to politically rise to the top as Vice President of the United States, the most powerful in American history. Yeah, this will be interesting. That's really all I have to say regarding it.
It's politics.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Wolf of Wall Street.
It's semi-fictional, but again, it's actually about... Well, this sort of goes into more in depth about, the rise of power in the political ladder. So,
yeah,
it's kind of like, I mean, it's more of like how W was with I think it's not Pierce Brosnan and what's his name, Toby Keith, I think it's his name, is Karl Rove. He's a great actor. I think this is one of those films that kind of highlights, post-Cold War history in terms of like, because the Bush era was something that not every aspect of it got a lot of attention. I mean, obviously, 9/11 got a lot of attention, but Dick Cheney was a unique vice president, usually for worse, but sometimes for better. I mean, that just happened. Not going to say what I think about him because, I don't really have that much of an opinion on him, but...
I love what Cody just said, which speaks, cake is a lie, aliens invented cornbread stuffing, and cookies follow you wherever you go. What a crazy mixed up world we live in. I've never seen...
I'll refuse to believe that the Arabs invented algebra. No, the aliens did it to punish us.
I've never seen The Right Stuff, but I heard it's really good. I really need to see that movie. But anyway, do you want me to move on to the next trailer?
To
Clint Eastwood.
Bad, MK.
You mean Clint Eastwood, right?
Clint Eastwood, drugs are bad, MK.
Yeah, The Mule. A 90-year-old horticulturalist and World War II veteran are caught transporting $3 million worth of cocaine through Michigan for a Mexican drug cartel. One thing I do have to mention is that I really do like the makeup on Clint Eastwood because I don't really think he's 90 years old. I think he's 88. Oh, yeah.
It's up right now.
But
Eastwood.
Yeah.
He is 88.
Yeah.
So he's not far behind, but god damn does he do a good job of playing the role.
Yeah, he really does. What do you have to say
Clint
regarding
Eastwood
this?
is probably one of the best actors of all time.
I mean, to be fair, regardless of best actor or best actor, you usually relate that to an age, like they've been the best actor of their time. But Clint Eastwood has managed to do that when he was in his prime, and also managed to take advantage of that when he's older. Like I think the last film I saw him in was Trouble with the Curve.
Yeah,
and that was a good movie.
Did any of you see Dirty Harry?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
I saw The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Was he in that one?
I believe so.
But
hold on, let me look that up.
He's done a good job.
Oh yeah, he was in that
one. He's done a
good
good job of working with his age, and making that a feature that he's strong in. Throughout his career, so that's something that very few other actors have done. I can't really name another one.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's few actors who have known for lines like "You feeling lucky, punk."
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool,
But this is another one that he's probably going to shine in, I think.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, do you want me to move on to our next trailer?
Oh, you mean this is like kind of a side story in Baby Driver?
I want to say yes, but probably not.
Yes, but technically no.
Yes. The upside. Not the upside down, the upside. An unemployed man with a criminal record is hired to breathe new life into a wealthy paraplegic, bringing him unexpected happiness. I do have to say, I'm glad that Kevin Hart is taking his acting a little more seriously. A little bit.
I mean, and to be fair, Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston, I mean, not many would think to do it, but it's genius. I think it works really well.
Bryan Cranston's just going to sneeze in this movie, and he's going to get an Oscar.
Watching this trailer, I mean, I think that if Kevin Hart takes his role at least semi-seriously, and Bryan Cranston just does Bryan Cranston, that, they have a good chemistry going on.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What
happened?
I'm sorry. Oh, Lord. Okay.
What'd you do this time?
Nothing happened, but I do have to address something. This film is basically an American remake of the French film simply known as The Untouchables.
The Untouchables.
Yes. And I don't know how to feel about that. I hope it's not an exact ripoff because it is a remake. And I'm kind of afraid of that, but I guess we'll just have
one. Read the tagline. Federal agent Elliot Ness sets out to stop Al Capone from rampant corruption.
No, wrong one.
Okay, that's a different one then.
Yes, it's a French film.
He keeps saying American gangster film, but I have to see.
No, The Untouchables.
Untouchables.
Yes.
That's not how you say that word. God damn it.
Well,
Untouchables. There you go.
Yeah.
The Untouchable UK. Francois Cluzet and Omar Sy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one. Buddy comedy drama film directed by Oliver Nakash and Eric Toledano. Is that it?
Yes, that is the one. Okay. And I hope that it's not going to be exactly like that. But after hearing that, it's like, I kind of wish this was an original feature. But do you know do you have anything to say regarding this, Naka?
All that it just reminds me of is that, that kind of side story in Baby Driver.
All right. Well, do you want me to move on to our last trailer?
Come on, Ginsberg. I gotta
Go.
On the basis of sex. No, not that sex, but this other sex. Yes, a young lawyer.
Not that SpongeBob reference either.
Yes, teams with her husband to bring a groundbreaking case before the courts of law to overturn a century of sex discrimination. Not gonna lie, it's actually pretty cool. What do you have to say regarding this, Naka?
Yeah, equality. No, seriously, equality, please. Survivors. Yes. I normally don't get into this kind of topic, but survivors actually do need to be heard.
Yes, I do agree to that. What do you have to say regarding this movie, Krüz?
Yeah, I think that there haven't been a lot of films focusing on the justices. I mean, they're not going to want to focus on Thomas because he's not a liberal, but the Ginsburg has been, someone who's been very long serving and, definitely does deserve recognition for what she's done. I mean, if nothing else, but for I meant longevity was the word.
Right.
I just think that with the current situation that this is coming out in, that this is kind of like, just feeding the fire of what's going on right now.
Like for the record, I don't think this
knows what we're talking about. We don't even need to mention the name, but still.
Right, but here's the thing. I don't think this trailer came out to fuel the fire of our current
generation. It didn't. It just happened to be at the same time.
Right. But what do you have to say regarding this one, Naka?
Well, again, survivors do need to be heard, and, discrimination of any kind is just fucking disgusting, and it's still appalling that it's still going on today.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of history behind it, especially American history, because
Yeah.
You know what I'm getting at.
Yeah. But anyway, I do want to see it, and that's it. That's our show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Give us your money.
Yes, as always, please support the stream if you are interested. When you mean that in a joking way,
I mean that in a joking way.
Give us
please
money,
do
but
not
also
actually.
don't.
If you have rent,
basically we're saying
if you
that
have rent to
invitation
play,
to everyone
please do
except
not.
for Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle, thank you. Fuck.
Yes.
Holy shit.
I swear, Kyle is going to be on our stream next weekend. I promise you that. Not next weekend.
We're not streaming next weekend.
We are not streaming next weekend. We are actually going to be taking a small break, and we will return on the 21st. Hopefully,
you have midterms.
And hopefully, if that happens, we will announce it. If it does not, then unfortunately, it might have to wait. But I'm definitely going to want to have a good chat with this guy because he has been, and just, I mean. I really love that we've had a good community of people, and even new people who've come, like Metalworking and Wheelie, other people who've just been like, who've actually stuck with us. Thank you. Holy shit. We did not think this would happen. But, I mean, Kyle has set the bar pretty high, so that does not discredit any of you else.
Yes, Of course it doesn't. And if you guys ever have the heart to donate, it's greatly appreciated.
Major. The Chernobyl reactor is 1.9% fucking safe.
Yes.
I actually did watch an episode of oh my god, I forget the name of the show, but it's like River Monsters with Jeremy. I was about to say Jeremy Clarkson, but I meant Jeremy Wade. And he did a fishing show at he went to Chernobyl and caught some fish with they had like an extra set of jaws or something. But that was weird looking.
Yep. But anyway, guys, I do have to make a really quick assumption, and again remind you that next week we will not be available. We will be taking a break, and we will return on October 21st. Hopefully with Kyle being on our show as a guest for that weekend.
Well, those two will be taking a break. You might see something from me, because I'm not in college.
That is correct.
I'm not in college.
We might actually be streaming. We might